everybody! We are back! Bardicdice going live again for our second night of our double duty D&D. We are back from Gary Con, all rested for the most part, and getting back into the swing of things, but we have missed all of you. And Smitey Smite right off the bat. I know I missed you too, Smite. But it's okay. We are here for you tonight. I'm so excited. So if you are new to this channel, let's get right into all of our quick announcements so we can get into our game. I'm excited to get into it. Poor Nice has been patiently waiting for 2 weeks now. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Michael. I am Bardicdice. I like to do D&D TTRPGs type games here on Twitch. We have Wednesdays, the Feywild Shenanigans of the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, which is the new modular campaign from Wizards of the Coast. So we do that on Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. And on Thursdays, we have our homebrew Fates United, which is super fun. And what amazing part is, we have two of our official artists tonight. So Deely is our official artist for a Feywild game. Rachel, Pit 400, is our official artist for tonight's game. So we get to share the love. That being said, we love artists around here. We also have a Discord that we like to share. This is an amazing positive community that we have built and kind of get to hang out in the tavern, and we share it with the wonderful Marquee Gaming, which you'll hear a little bit more from shortly, as these
Wait, how many is that? Oh my gosh!
What? Bro. Okay. So that's...
I thought when you said level 5, you meant like 5 subs.
Yep. Okay. Well, welcome back. That's gonna be a lot of alerts. Holy moly, Smite. Hey, buddy. What do you say to that? Okay. Well.
Now you have to do a tap dance.
Yeah, that's apparently what I do. You sub 50 subs and I get to dance. Smite, dude. Thank you. I mean, holy moly. Well, that turned my day around. All right. We have an amazing Discord, everybody. As you can see, amazing people like that. Again, you do not... Yeah, I'm gonna have alerts going through like the entire episode. Whew. Where was I? I don't even know. Hey guys, you don't have to sub. We do this for free, but I appreciate the support, so we can do this more and more for you guys. That being said, what we like to give back to you for this kind of stuff is our amazing Discord that we share with Marquee Gaming. We have an amazing community of people, of artists, of metal workers, of poets, of writers, of just amazing positive people. Smite paladins in the Discord that just help support each other, especially when we're gone. So thank you guys so much for doing that. You guys are amazing. So that being said, for tonight's game and on Wednesday's game, we have a Fates and I'm really off my track right now. We have a Fates and Fae channel, and we're just losing people. This is how we start. So
Just leave. I'm just kidding. My Discord froze. Sorry.
You're fine. We have a Fates and Fae channel, so if you want to go and throw gifts and reactions and have other ways to break the DM, that's one way to do it. So definitely go ahead, check that out. It's super fun. I'm pretty sure I had an announcement, and I forgot it. So cool. The person of the day is Smitty Smite, because holy moly, I've just... Okay. Thanks, dude. Awesome. Let's go ahead and introduce our players and what you guys are doing and the characters that you play, so I can get a chance to just catch my breath and all that. So, Deely.
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm Deely, aka Raphaziel.
AKA, I probably just sound like a bunch of sub noises right now. It's fine. I don't know if you can turn off. You don't have to turn off the animation, but maybe you can like X the sound out.
I can't do it without doing one or the other.
Oh, okay, never mind. Well, thank you. I am Raphaziel on Twitch and the internet, and I do art streams Tuesdays and Thursdays, and yeah, it's super fun. And I, on here, play Meikai, a Kensei tiefling monk. Kensei monk tiefling. Kensei tiefling's not a thing. And she's a lot of fun. So. Yeah.
It just Meikai just unsheathing her sword over and over again.
Think. How many swords you got in there? Don't worry about it, Zachary.
Don't worry about it, it's fine. Who knows?
Some people carry secrets, I just carry swords.
You might need them tonight. So, we'll find out. Thank you so much, Deely. Go check her out on Raphaziel. She's amazing. She streams throughout the week with art and is the official artist for our Wednesday game. Sitting right next to her, our official artist for tonight's game, Rachie.
Like my dance. I did a dance for the 50 subs too. It's just a lot shorter than Mike's. Okay, hi. I'm Rachel/Pip. You can find all my art at Pip400art on Twitter and Instagram. I would say TikTok, but I haven't posted there in like 3 months, so I mean, you can follow me if you want, but don't expect anything. I stream on Twitch with Marquee Gaming on Mondays at 3:30 CST. It's a lot of fun, and we had a great stream actually yesterday. It was my makeup stream, and it was just a good time to talk to everybody. I'll usually do commissions, and we'll hang out. So come hang out with me on Monday, 3:30. I play Nice in this game. She's a ranger cleric. She does not speak, and she's currently... Huh?
I said neither can I tonight, so...
So you guys are twinning.
Yep.
And she's been... someone is like about to kill her, so it's fine. No worries.
Perfect. Yeah. And heading on down below, the one that the story is all about right now. The one and the only. I missed you this week, buddy. But, John.
Hello, I'm John.
Hi.
I'm also known as Deely's husband, and I play Kahurangi. I'm a Kalistar fighter. Rune Knight's been really fun. Glad to be back. Glad everyone's back from CarryCon. We can play together again. And glad that everyone was able to have fun. And I got some cool stuff brought back to me. Check out how cool some of this... Actually, I'm going to show this off. Looks like...
Yes.
Like an acrylic jade D20 that got made for me that is so good looking.
So pretty.
And then I also got a jade D20 as well. So I got both, and look how good they look next to each other. They're like the same.
Perfect.
So yeah,
So cool.
pretty exciting to get that. That was pretty stoked to get that. So thank you so much. For everyone who got me these as my wife, and I believe it was Amara. Yes, Amara. Thank you. Shout out to Amara. And yeah, excited to be here. Hope everyone's having a good night. Hope we can all have a good time. And pass it on.
Last but not least, the one and the only. I got to hug him in person. And he forced me to drink so many root beer floats.
Yeah, a lot of peer pressure there.
Yep.
So that's 2 people now. I've gotten to drink 5 root beer floats. So
That's true.
I'm
that
building
your
my
life
collection
goal?
of people.
Yeah.
So anybody out there want to drink 5 root beer floats? Let me know, and I'll.
John, next year.
But anyways, I am Mark. I play Zachary here on this channel. He is an ASMR sorcerer bard, and I also do stream Dungeons and Dragons on Sundays, where we play Beacons Aura, our 5e urban fantasy campaign that includes Rachel and Mike, or Mike. I can't remember which ways I'm pointing. But yeah, it's gonna be a awesome time this Sunday as we come back too as well. And I'll show off my dice that I got this Sunday. So they're pretty sweet. I love them.
I'm nervous that
But
it'll
yeah.
be even more natural 20s.
It might be. I rolled a couple in a row in with them. I guarantee.
You rolled a lot of nat 20s at Gary Con with those dice, actually.
Yeah, he did.
They were pretty nice. I approve of them. And that paired with my other D20 that always rolls 20s, you guys are doomed. Even if I have disadvantage. So,
Mara did it on purpose because she likes you more.
They did.
I think it was Deeds who did it though. So
Yeah, that was Deeds.
No!
Evil wizard vibes.
So I approve of those dice. Thumbs up.
Well, these are mine.
I think we
because
made
I
it,
didn't show 'em
guys.
off.
I think everything's calmed down for now.
Did we stall enough?
I think we stalled enough.
Quiet.
They're so pretty. I love them.
Yeah, they have flowers in them.
The flowers is white. Yeah, I actually
Wait,
have.
it's time for me. I have it looks like a storm.
Oh, these look so good.
Stormy storm.
I'm not showing mine till Sunday, so.
And I grabbed all the fate.
I thought they were your
pieces.
Zachary dice.
What?
I thought they were your Zachary dice. Are they your evil DM dice?
Yeah, I'm switching out my dice for DMing to those.
Makes
That's
sense.
an honor.
It's a
Yep.
big honor.
That's a high
I
honor.
retired the other ones to my jar of dice, and the new ones are coming in on Sunday.
Okay, does it feel really quiet? I don't know if you guys could hear the alerts the whole time because I could.
I never did.
Okay, because it's really quiet
The
all the
screen
time.
looks so empty.
It's so great. I love it. Ah, awesome. Well, a little low. Okay, cool. Yeah, I turned it down before, but awesome. Let's go ahead. After all of that, I've missed all of you. We have missed Fates United. I have spent many hours on the road thinking about what I can do to our chosens, what the story is going to go. Let's get into tonight's game.
Pull on threads of fate, strings of time, metal clash as they climb. Champions of the sky, sun, moon, ocean, ally. Seek the path where darkness hides, corrupting all the good inside. They will travel the hard way, igniting light through the untamed. Wilderness won't disguise the elements sent to destroy the fragile weave of destiny. Just one of the many evils sent to break the world. Protect them as legend unfolds. Pull on threads of fate, strings of time, metal clash as they climb. Champions of the sky, sun, moon, ocean, ally. Seek the path where darkness hides. Bring light to where evil abides. Come on, roll the dice. As heroes take the fight.
Welcome back, everybody. Episode 53. Fractures. And right off the bat, love Smite. I just recovered. I love you, buddy. As we get back into Fates United, if you're new, this world Organia is created by the Ancient One, a deity who has been able to create other lower deities that are called affinities, each relating to the different magics forces in this world. Light, darkness, earth, moon, stars, water, sky, and earth. Within that, though, during that creation, another energy, given the name corruption, also followed. A negative energy to the creation that was done. The Ancient One, trying to protect the creation in this world from corruption, gave up himself and his powers to be among the mortals and distance himself, trying to distance corruption. Eventually, though, just like smoke and darkness always does, it found its way back in through the cracks through a different form. peace lived by, and the affinities taught magic masses of mortals. But again, darkness rised, and in a great war, the affinities had to decide to give up their own powers as well, removing themselves beyond the mortal veil into their own realms to keep corruption at bay. Sorry, I always get those confused. In their last effort of giving their love and protection to this world, they gave a bead of power to Chosens in the different races that were created by these men. These Chosens now have risen every generation, at first succeeding at keeping corruption at bay, but over time, we found out through different reasons, corruption has even invaded the Chosens. They've fallen generations by generation. Till now, where 4 Chosens have risen, they have united and come together to give inspiration and hope, especially the human kingdom. So returning home, Alhuranji, having bed lower on the totem pole in his family as a soldier, second to the youngest, his oldest sister was supposed to take over as chief. Though in a ritual, it was deemed by the affinities that it was his role to take. His sister, running off, denial, taking those that wanted to keep with the tradition. His brother, by different means, different personal reasons, turning his back on him as well. Returning and looking for his good friend Ergon, they did eventually find them at a camp, seemingly prison made out of ruins. Ergon wasn't alone. A secondary figure, skinny and malnutritioned, scar around his neck and tattoos lining up, which you can see in the Discord in the Fates United NPCs. So if you want to get a little refresher on any people we're talking about here, you can go see it in there as well. Walking over, he revealed his name to be Connor, our Chosens, recognizing that to be Bricarius's supposedly dead son, the one who had taken in Anais as a uncle figure of Bricarius. Though at the moment of seeing Anais, his eyes flashed yellow, and he launched himself at Anais' throat, strangling her. I need everybody to roll initiative.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Mars dice. Delay? Or
20.
Mekai? 20? Alright. And you are still outside, is that correct?
No, I had followed her. I'm
walking?
right next to her.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding.
Yep. Yep.
Let me get into my I realized I knew I forgot something to get into my DM roll 20. There we go. I was like, why can't you move anybody? Alright, Mekai, you had 20?
20.
Nice.
15.
Add you guys here. Nice. Hi. Kaho?
3.
Mekai, I'm sorry. Nice, you said 20 as well?
No, 15.
15. I don't know. Okay. Oh, you said 3?
Yep, makes sense. I'm outside.
Sure.
Yeah.
What? Zachary.
20.
Ooh. Mekai and Zachary, what are your decks?
My deck's 16.
Okay. So, Zach, you'll go on a 19. And then Ergon. We'll add him to the thing. 12. Honor had a natural 20. Thank you, Amara. Please. Actually, I'll give him
Still
disadvantage.
motivated.
I'll give him disadvantage. Well, no, he is being powered by this stuff, though. It's fine. roll. 23.
Dang, Ergon.
That's Connor.
That's
Oh.
Connor.
Connor, calm down.
That's the angry boy.
Oh. Suddenly, Zachary just looking, or I mean, this whole time, Connor looking malnourished, confused, almost unaware of his surroundings, really. But seeing Anais' face, yelled, "You heathen!" and launches himself at you, Anais. I need a athletics roll. He's gonna attempt to grapple you and strangle you.
These two very thin elves.
Tiny people. That is. You said athletics.
Or acrobatics.
Okay, athletics is better. 23.
Okay. As he pushes you, he knocks you down with this surprising strength that seems to be powered as the eyes are pulsing yellow. You are able to kind of keep hands and hold him just at bay to not cause damage. He rolled a 24, but he is on top of you, strangling you. All right. That is his turn. Makai.
Stunning strike. Yeah. So, my fists count as melee weapons, right?
Yes.
Cool. Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to try and hit him.
Give me a perception check real quick.
Okay. I'll use a different dice. 15 perception.
Just so you're aware, even in the moment, he is not looking healthy. So just be aware when you
That's why I
attack him.
was stunning. Because
letting
it
you
was. Yeah.
Just letting you know, you look at him and you realize this guy does not have much health to him. Much. He's very fatigued. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. I'm just gonna do one.
Okay.
And try to stun him.
So roll me attack.
Yeah, 21.
21 definitely hits.
Yeah,
So what are you doing, unarmed?
yeah, my unarmed strike. Just one, I'm not doing both, multiple attacks. I'm just doing the one and I'm just, trying to stun him.
Okay, cool. Roll me damage. Are you trying to be lethal or non-lethal?
No, non-lethal, just stun.
Asking. That's the
Yeah,
stunning strike
not
and
lethal.
non-lethal is very different.
Non-lethal.
Non-lethal, okay. Roll me damage.
Yep. Oh, stop, Makai. That is 8.
8 points.
Yep.
Okay. You just kind of deck him across the jaw and you can see just an unhinging of his jaw. Spit and blood go flying. What is your DC for stunning strike?
It's a con save of 14.
Okay. See him dazed. Stunned.
So-
I can't move. Okay.
Yeah, until the end of my next turn.
So you just see him stunned and dazed and just kind of still holding and gripping Anais' throat, but just out of it.
As a bonus action, is there any way I can, like, try to get him off her since I'm right next to her? Or no?
Be more of an action.
Okay.
It's-
Action search. I'm just kidding. I don't know about it.
I mean, you have another attack. I mean, if you
I
want-
do. But, I mean, if you'll count that, then I'll do that. I'll try to.
More than happy to.
Yeah. I'll try that. So, do I have to roll for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's less. That's an 17.
17 still hits. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Roll damage.
Well, I'm just gonna pull him off her.
Roll me damage. Your attack.
Oh, that's more damage? I'm just trying to pull him off.
Yeah,
no,
but-
he was trying to use
Attack
it.
or grapple? That's what.
Are you trying to grapple,
you
or you have a? Well, you already hit once, so you can use the
Yeah.
second attack, or if you want to try and grapple.
I think you can use a grapple or a shove as part of the attack action.
Yeah, if that's
yeah,
what you're trying to do.
Then we're shoving him off of her.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So it's a 17
Okay, and
to try to shove.
immediately is kind of just pushed off and kind of pushed up against the wall. You just still see the eyes kind of flashing between his normal eyes and then the yellow just back as he's dazed and stunned.
Gonna look to Zachary. Zachary, is there anything that you can do to help? And time at her.
Perfect. Zachary. He's now up against the wall, and eyes. You can now breathe again. You have burning marks around your throat with this odd surge of strength that you feel like you shouldn't have had. Zachary.
So I go over to him and I cast Remove Curse on him. And see if it changes him at all.
Okay. Describe the remove curse as you're going into it.
So I go up and kind of get in between him and Ananias and just reach my hand down onto his chest, and the glow begins to go across him, trying to remove that corruption from him.
Perfect. As your symbol glows and just the light kind of exceeds and it goes around him, see this burning fire, and for a second he's almost like it's painful for him and he's fighting it, and then it's almost as if you can see this yellow, it seems almost like a poison that leaches out of his skin and burns away with this fire that you're casting on him, and it's almost like you're pulling it back out of him and then it burns away. He looks extremely confused, still stunned and weak at the knees. Do you do anything else?
I'm just in between him and Ananias now, in case he gets up and wants to do something else.
At this point, because of the remove curse, you guys are out of combat. Are you guys doing anything else in this round? You want to finish up?
Out of concern, like, if he's okay, I'll just be like, make I watch him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go back into the hallway towards Ergon, and as I do, I'm going to use my hat of disguise, or band of disguise, whatever it is, and look like Ananias, and try to get his attention by poking him.
Nice.
Okay,
I'm
that's good.
sorry.
Now drop it.
He's like grabbing at you and then just what? And he's just pushing back up against the wall, like terrified at this.
Did I even hear this
Okay.
altercation?
Yeah, at this point you would be able to hear it. Ergon's kind of like, oh.
Okay, I would have worked my way back then.
Yeah, I'll drop the Ananias appearance and... Okay, just had to make sure.
Yeah, I like get up really fast. I'm like kind of massaging my throat for a minute.
Are you okay, Ananias?
Just wave her off like, yeah.
Just kind of like looking at his hands. And just
Does he seem
he, like falls to the
normal?
ground. Give me an insight check.
The second 17 I've rolled. Plus
Noise.
24.
24. Normal is an odd status to you. Last time you saw him, innocent kid, just like you. A little older, but innocent. He does seem to be free from whatever this magical control was. But he doesn't seem normal. Seems like he's been through a lot.
Okay. So I'll sign in like sign language and be like, do you know this? Like, can you understand this?
A little bit. There's like broken signs. It's almost like a different one, but did I do that?
Mhm.
Sorry. Is this real?
Yes.
Where are we?
Anais will sign, what do you remember last?
And you just hear muttering, and he just seems to break and starts like scratching at this bar at his neck and his hands, and he's just like looking at him, and it's like as if he just can't take whatever he's thinking.
Okay. I'll like, if I step near him, does he like freak out, or does he seem to be?
How are you stepping forward? Are you like looming over him? Or are you trying to get down on his level? Because he's like kind of sitting against the wall now, just dazed and.
Oh yeah, I was just okay. If he's sitting down, I would like get down on my knee,
Half
like
dislocated jaw too.
yeah.
Sorry.
So I'd be like eye level.
With your passive insight and what you rolled earlier, there's just guilt and fear, sorrow, as he's looking at you. There's definite recognition.
Okay.
And then give me a perception check.
Nat 20 for a 30.
Wow, nice. Jeez.
Not even worth rolling.
You can still roll if you like.
Not 19.
18.
Not gonna matter. I'll take my passive.
Sure. You all can hear a horn go off at the forest line outward,
Oh,
and the sounds
We
of
might-
running.
we might want to go.
Baragon, what do you see?
Hold on. And you can see his eyes flash again. An ambush. We're surrounded. Elves.
And I was just, yeah, figured. And she like reaches over to his shoulder and like touches him, and I'll heal him. I'll do
Okay.
cure wounds on him.
Your wins.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm gonna ask Connor as well. Did they do this to you?
He did. You need to get out of here. She's coming for you. Need everyone to roll initiative again.
Oh, goody.
Oh yeah, now Connor rolls.
Now he's scared, boy.
Oh, he's scared, boy.
I was gonna say before you said a roll initiative, I was gonna walk towards kind of the door edge so I could like peek.
Yeah, I'll give you guys like a round to set yourself up and do anything if you want.
Connor gets 12 back.
12 healing?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, you start healing him, and you see that he's more healed than he was when
Mm.
little color comes back to his. Meka?
18.
Perfect. Zachary.
12.
Well, nice.
11. Oh no, 13.
13. Add that initiative.
Yeah.
Ergon. Buddy. That's a 2. Kahu.
12.
Oh, nice. Very. All right. We are going to add.
And I have a dex of 14.
Perfect. Okay. Then you will be an 11. See? All right. So Kyle, you head to the window.
Yeah, basically heading so I can kind of start peeking out. See if I can see anything.
Over to battle music. And we'll go over to our battle cam. All right. So you are heading. Which side of the?
I already moved to the spot.
You're looking out the way you came in.
Yeah.
Okay. Currently you don't see anything. Ergon's directions was that they were kind of coming wood line to get the idea from the other side.
Okay, so if I would have gotten that idea, I probably would have at least been here, so I can kind of peek down the hallway.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get to a point where you can look, I'd probably say if you want to get like over here and like look.
Well, I'm still trying to think where I was at, about 30 feet from
I
there.
gotcha. Okay.
I figure I probably would have only had one round asking Ergon and getting to a spot.
Okay. You can hear kind of rustling of leaves and even like footsteps in water crossing. You can't see. They seem to have been kept quiet except for this horn off. All right. Anybody else want to do anything before we go into this initiative?
Yeah. Is there a window or anything nearby, as Ergon had pointed out, or is it just the door that's...
So about here might be a place you can look through if you want to get like over to here, or...
Wait, are you pinging things? Because I can't see it.
Yeah, let me try this again. So like around here,
Okay.
be a place around here. Have different places in the rubble if you want to look through to be able to potentially see out.
Yeah. So I'll go to that top one.
Okay. As you do, you look out. See. Standing, like, revealing themselves out of the wood line are more elves. Though from this distance it's hard to tell, but they seem to be of different tribes again as well.
Okay.
And standing over here, blowing this horn that has this yellow, golden kind of aura to it, with this gems that hitting around.
Mm-hmm.
See an elf with black skin, golden markings on her face, gold silk kind of billowing down and following down, blowing the...
Okay. So I'm gonna just yell to Anais and point. Anais, she's here. And I'm gonna point to the nearest window, or let her have my window, but she can see, so we can just snipe these things. Yeah. So I'm readying my bow.
Okay. Readying your bow?
Once they
Nice.
get a little bit more in range.
I want to sign to Connor. Like, if he seems... Does he seem with it? Does it seem like he's listening to me?
He's back and forth.
Okay. So, I'm gonna, like... hold his shoulder till I know he's focusing on me for a second.
Looks at you.
And I'm gonna sign, your dad is alive. I told him I'd bring you to him. Stay up,
No.
all right?
Don't put him in danger, please. Don't bring me to him.
Oh, fine. We'll figure it out. Stick with us. We'll protect you.
Hurry.
I vowed it.
Just seems to drop his head a little bit, but just kind of seems very submissive.
In the prep time as well, I'm gonna cast Bless on the 4 of us at 2nd level.
Perfect. Awesome.
Nice.
I'm gonna do it the extended one too, so it goes longer.
Nice.
Just in case
So-
you need it.
Okay, sweet.
And that's always a D4, right?
If you roll a D4 with it.
Cool. Thanks.
Can I sign to Zach, will you protect him?
Yeah, I'm with him.
Okay.
You go.
Thank you.
All right.
I give like one more shoulder squeeze to Connor, like, stay strong, man, type of thing. Like, she's really intense right now, not really paying too much attention to how out of it he is. But she's trying.
How's Ergon looking really quick? As I'm like running past him when I got more in position.
I mean, Ergon's looking rough, malnutritioned, but his eyes are kind of stained white. He almost seems to be like keeping an Overwatch eye for you guys. He does not look like in fighting shape, and neither of them have weapons on him.
Okay, well, as I pass him, I'm gonna put a snack in his hand.
Okay.
So he can have something.
It currently
I don't
falls
know.
to the ground because he's not able to perceive anything in this body currently, but maybe when he comes to snap too, he'll recognize it.
I just put it in his hand.
Oh god, just chilling there.
Yeah.
Alright, Mekai, you're up.
Yeah, cool. So I'm gonna shoot my bow at, well, you know, this lady's bad news, but it's also Ananias's, person. So I'm gonna actually shoot this person right here. It's actually, I think, closer overall anyways. So, my long bow is a 150, 600. So 150's normal,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So do I get disadvantage because it's a 165 then?
Unless you want to move closer. But yeah, that'd be
No.
disadvantage.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not gonna get closer. It's the same number too. Okay. Double 11s plus 8. Is that 19?
19?
19.
19 hits.
Cool. Okay, and that's 1d8 plus 5. 10 points.
10 points, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of just takes
Okay.
it to the shoulder, and it's hard to see because they're all still in the brush line.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just charging.
Yep.
You can see different colors of whites and reds and blues, like all in their different rival.
Yeah, and let me make sure. Ooh, okay, and as my bonus action, it'll be the Kensei shot, so it deals an extra d4 damage. So that's another 3 points.
Nice. I like it.
Yep.
Kind of just goes in and hits, but the kind of arrowhead that you've gotten on it kind of digs in, trying to pull it out and does damage.
I'm gonna pull out another one. And I'll end my turn, so I can just shoot the once.
No, you can shoot twice.
I can shoot twice! I'm gonna shoot twice! Gets excited. Oh, okay, that's a lot lower. Okay. That's fine though.
Remember, you can roll the bless too, if you haven't.
13.
13.
Even with bless.
This time, this seems to miss and kind of stick in the wood as your target kind of dodges out of the way and running.
Cool.
Good try. Are you moving anywhere? Are you staying there?
I am staying there, holding fast.
Perfect. All right. He blows this horn and this elven lady steps forward. So, You have returned. Just like she prophesied. Lay down your weapons and the affinities have corrupted your minds. And she turns, and stepping forward, Kahu, you can see your brother, and a head down. She puts a hand on his shoulder. Those truly faithful to the cause shall be rewarded. And you see her eyes and her tattoo glow. And the 6 surrounding her that are kind of like charging, you see their weapons begin to glow yellow as well. That is our turn. Their turn. Let me add these. Ooh, the items look cool in dark mode too. I like it. Little thing. Right.
How low can we hear this lady like 200 feet away? What? What'd you say? Can't hear you.
No, with this horn, it's like
Yeah.
magically projected across.
It's just funny being like, what?
Yes, I said.
Like
Repent!
Bane when he takes over the Super Bowl and he's talking like this and you don't even know what he's saying.
So these are gonna go.
We can still outrun him, guys.
They're gonna run in and hide behind the rocks. Same thing, they're kind of running in and hiding behind various kind of crates and different things. You can see the fires are out. They still seem kind of warm. Same thing, they're moving in as well, kind of beginning to slowly surround at least this exit. Across the river there. All right, Anais, it is your go.
Okay. I sort of looked to the others. Does it look like they're wanting to like fight this? Or does it look like people are wanting to run? Just from a quick scan before I go all out.
What do you guys look like?
Zach does not look like he's expecting to run with exhausted Connor. So, I'll say.
Yeah.
I was
I'm-
ready to fight.
I'm ready to fight, but it's like a.
Okay. So question is, the walls and windows, is this like, can I just leap over these walls, or?
So not in the internal ones. So there is, go back to that level. There is the runes here that are kind of blown out. Here that you can get through, or the front door here.
Okay. And then what about this? These walls?
Yeah, those you can break through. They're kind of like windows or like kind of rocks that have kind of carved out. It's, this whole building hasn't really stood much up to the weather.
Okay. Oh dang it, this map's so big. Hold on, I'm trying to do some measuring things.
Okay. But did you catch it? Well, that's impressive.
Okay.
Is it the silicone one? Ouch. Monks.
Okay. So I'm going to see. Hold on 1 second. So sorry. Can't find all my spell cards that I want. Okay. I will move out 5.
So
And
just for the sake of
15.
keeping them separate, so the one with the golden dot with the red, that's Arendelle. And then the one with the blue is his brother.
Okay.
Arendelle and Kamale.
Okay. So I'll go out the ruins on this side. And pop out right here. And I will I'm gonna shoot at her with disadvantage, I think, at the moment.
Okay, so you're kind of popping out to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
You see the 6 that were sitting there were waiting for anybody to pop out to make some sort of attack. They're going to attempt to shoot you as you volley as well, because you're revealing yourself to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, make
Rachel,
your attack.
do you have a longbow?
I think Mike said it's a short bow.
I thought I'd give you a long bow for your chosen.
I mean, I'd love a longbow. I thought you told me it was a short bow, but I'd take a longbow.
We'll go with longbow. I mean, it is now, sure. I'm pretty sure it's a longbow.
You're at 150 exactly right now from her.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Just measured it out.
Thanks.
Deely, I'm sorry. What was the range on your bow?
150.
Okay.
600.
Cool. Nice. What's your AC? You got 6 attacks. That's
18.
Okay, so 18 hits. Second one misses. Third one misses. Mara's like, my dice don't attack the fates, people.
I enchanted them.
Okay, that one hits. So the 4th one hits. About to change my dice.
No, keep them.
Okay, and then the last one. So 3 out of 6 hit. Not too bad. So rolling really bad. It's awesome. So that's math. Let me just do that first. So 15 points of piercing damage. As you kind of are able to, you get pierced a few times and then duck past. And you can see when they're releasing these arrowheads seem to be golden on their tips as they're being shot at you.
Okay.
Alright. But you kind of roll back out, aim at this Arendelle.
Yeah, I have 2 attacks for my Dread Ambusher Ranger. First attack is a 22.
22 hits.
Second attack is a 21.
22 and 21 hit, both. Aiming.
Okay.
The anger rising up in you as just this thunder literally pushing the trees and bushes aside in front of you as carving through the lightning damage. Just kind of 2 of these arrows twirling together, your affinity symbol shining bright against this lightest figure.
And then we get an extra d4 damage, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So the first attack, I get, or my extra attack, I get an extra d8 of damage.
Boomstalker.
I love Boomstalkers.
Lightest
17
stalker.
damage for the first one.
Nasty.
Yes.
She's so focused. And 10 for the second one.
10 points? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. You kind of both kind of just go in rip some of the golden silk back, some of the blood falling, as the arrow just disapparates, and she just looks at you, just elegantly smiles. Do anything else?
I don't think I have anything at the moment I want to do, but
Bonus action, auto kill.
auto kill. No, I will.
Power word, hate kill.
Before, like, I duck down, though, like, I do straighten, like, here I am, like, come at me. Like, she's just, like, really, ready to go. We'll just say. And yeah, that's my turn.
Alright. Zachary. You got Connor. Connor's there's like, no, don't let them take her. Don't let them take you guys.
So just be like, it'll be okay, it'll be okay.
No, it
can
won't.
I
No, and he's like grabbing at your like robe.
Can I see through this crack here in the wall, Anais?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do healing word on her.
Nice.
Thanks, Fred.
So you will get 7 plus 5, 12 points of healing.
Nice. As if it didn't even happen.
Yeah.
The burning kind of just going up and resealing some of the wounds. Connor's now just looking at like these glowing symbols on your forehead and these powers that you guys are operating with, and he just looks just speechless and in awe at you both.
I'll use my action to try to calm him down and just stay still, stay kind of down, and to trust us. Like, just reassuring him, like, we can do this.
Give me a
We're
perception
gonna-
check.
We're gonna do this.
You see that you've been watching him this whole time. He's been like hopping in and out of like either other memories or just kind of in it with you guys or like not in it with you. And right now he seems clear and with you.
21.
Perfect. You kind of, after all the sight of magic and your spurting of the staff, you put one hand on his shoulder, and it's just kind of this crazed look of being scared. He just kind of nods and kind of calms down for the turn.
Yeah, I'll just push him back, kind of like to sit and like almost like try to take some cover in case something like would come through the wall or anything.
Doesn't quite sit, but it'll at least get behind you enough to. He's still kind of trying to keep an eye on things.
Sure.
All right. Do anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Kahu.
Do I see ways to get out of this room other than the door I'm standing in at the moment?
Before you go big, you could potentially squeeze through the little place next to Makai.
Yeah, Kool-Aid Man it?
Kool-Aid Minute,
Well,
for sure.
I'm technically inside the door, so I could go big if I wanted to
That's
in
true.
here, and I wouldn't grow big.
That's a good point.
But that's not what I'm going for here.
And to be fair, these ruins do look old enough. You probably could Kool-Aid Man it.
Tahu Man it.
I think to get past Makai, would that be
It's fine.
difficult terrain?
No, it's
I'll allow it.
yeah. When it's an ally, you just move right through, as long as you don't end in their space.
That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That puts me
Get out of my bubble.
there. I'm then going to use bonus action. You activate my hill rune,
Yeah.
and I'm going to use an action to continue busting through the rubble, moving forward.
Perfect. Just kind of one of the symbols alights and kind of just see these veins kind of growing in on him. Hopping through. Give me a quick athletics roll, just as you hop through the rubble.
Uh-huh. 22.
Oh yeah. I mean, right through it.
Just see him bust through with his shield, and he's just strolling forward.
I love it.
Nice.
And you just hear him say, "Give me back my brother."
Are you doing anything on your turn? Or is it like action-wise, or is it a dash?
He's an action to dash.
Okay. Perfect.
And bonus action already used, so that's where I'm at.
Alright. Ergon.
Melee from a distance.
You hear Ergon's voice.
I see more movement coming from the north. Watch out.
It's gonna be his turn. Is he and then
Thanks.
and you start snacking. Connor. Though he seemed calm, this sound of more coming from the north. He again he's not quite pulling on your robes to get you to move, but he just goes,
Please, we need to get out of here. You don't know what they could do.
that's gonna be his turn. Okay.
I'm going to. Actually, first I'm gonna move. Well, that's not move, Dealey. I'm just gonna come out here. Can I see from this? Like,
Yeah.
is this like a half? Okay, yeah. Yeah. So I'm just gonna keep shooting the guy I already shot. This one, I think, or is it this one?
The one that you shot was this one, right?
Is it the hunt?
So,
I can't see
hold on.
that.
I am blooding him
Okay.
up right now. There you go.
Oh, okay. There we go. Yep, you're my target, sir.
He's not
Now
quite
does it-
bloodied, but he's close to it. So
He's going to be. Because
He's
I discovered
bloodied.
more damage I can do.
Yeah, there you go.
And 4 and 8. That's an 18 to hit.
18 hits. 18 still hits.
Okay. Then
They do
And
kind
using-
of they're kind of down, trying to use a little bit of cover. The AC is boosted slightly, but you're able to see his shoulder kind of, out in the open.
okay, so
That guy would like to rage.
10. 16.
16 points of damage.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah. Just still up.
Barely.
Cause shoot him again.
Shoot him again.
17 plus 8.
Did you want to use that Kensai thing? How did that
Yeah,
work?
I already did. I factored that in, and
Oh, okay.
I also used, because that's a bonus action, but Death Strike is just once on each of my turns. I can
gotcha.
add another D6, so it was a D4 and a D6 and a D8.
Twice. Sounds good.
Okay, and
Just
then
trying to help you. See if you can push that one
max
over.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then 17 plus 8 plus 4 because of bless.
That
That's
20 something. Sure.
Yeah, it's fine. And then this one, I already used my bonus action, so that doesn't count for that. Yeah, so this is just a D8. I keep rolling 5s. 10 points on that.
Just he like stands up and you just hit him straight in the face. Crumbles to the ground.
Good.
Then you do anything else?
And I'm going to get just a touch closer to Anais. Just kind of continue a little bit more movement. Not super close, but hopefully that I'll attract some of their attention too instead of just her.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep. By the way, what was the range? It was in a 30-foot range if I take out my chakrams and use those as the swipey attack, or what was that? I can't remember. I'm sorry. I was thinking about that if they get closer.
Are you talking about that like extended radiant move you can do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll say 30 feet. Trying to
Okay,
remember.
cool.
Almost want to say it was like 20, 60.
Okay, perfect. And that is my turn.
Perfect. Ahu, Meikai, and Anais, you are just curling up her hands, just caressing Kamale's. And just almost like this magically projected. Your brother has already seeked his redemption. Come seek your. And then her eyes kind of go to the north. I'm sure you'll find your way. Puts her hand on him. And a purple. They disappear from your sight.
I know your face.
I'll haunt your dreams.
All right, that is her turn. Kahu, Meikai, and Anais, you can give me perception checks.
Oh, good job.
17.
17?
19.
19.
Aw,
Hey.
friends.
Yeah.
Hey.
All of you guys can hear hooves riding in from along some path. Almost like a second wave coming in. All right.
Oh, in what direction?
To the north. To the top
Is
of the map.
it pingy ping? I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that is. Yeah.
Thank you.
north
Sometimes
here.
I doubt my abilities.
Yeah, and typically when I say north south,
Oh,
I'm not
north.
using like in-game geometry. I'm just saying like the map, so like north, south, east.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Perfect. So the archers will go first. Go 2 on you and Ice because there.
I am trying to use some of this as cover. I don't know if that makes my AC.
Sure, we'll give you a +2.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, because they're not gonna hold it this one. Got a question.
It's actually a good idea to crouch down.
Thanks.
Yeah, if you lay down in between shots, you actually force them to have disadvantage on range shots.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
They're just like,
Mark, just a quick, just second guessing myself. If someone cast a spell on people, like for instance, if you did bless on them but you left, bless is still up on them, right? As long as their concentration is up, the range doesn't matter on certain spells, right?
I don't think so. No.
No, once it's locked on the person, it's there until the end of the duration or concentration's lost.
Okay, cool. All right, Anais, you get 2 attacks. As a natural 20.
As it usually is.
That's a natural 20. Okay. Sorry, Amara's dice betrayed you on that one. So
Wow.
wow.
That
Luckily-
second
Sure.
die, I'm going to force you to reroll with my reaction
Do you have a range on
as
that?
I seek to change 60 feet.
Is it 60?
yours to 45.
I have to be within 60 feet of the person being attacked, I believe. Let me
Oh,
double check.
then being
this.
attacked.
When another creature you can see within 60 feet of you is hit by an attack roll, you can use your action to force the attack to
Yeah.
reroll.
Nice.
Yeah.
Second one is a. It's a 15 plus 3, so 18
Just hits. Oh no, just kidding, because I'm ducking.
plus 2. Yep, so 20.
So
That does
no.
not hit.
Mhm.
Twice.
Connor
Thanks.
sees the second shot coming in and he grabs onto the thread that he sees of fate and pulls it down.
Heck yeah.
Nice. Just boom.
Yeah, it just kind of like you see it coming towards you, and just this little bit of water just kind of pulls it, goes into the stonework next to you.
Nice.
But you do take 10 points of damage for the first one.
Okay.
Meikai, you're gonna get 1 coming towards you.
Yep.
So you'll get a +2.
Yeah.
That's not gonna hit. That's an 8. And Kahu, you'll get 2 coming towards you.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna hit either. It's 12.
Nope.
Yeah, that one's not gonna. Okay, cool.
Connor just walks right past it, doesn't even care.
Like when like the Power Rangers level up, nothing hits them. Like, yeah. All right, they are gonna stay there, but these, and Kahu, you can give me another percent.
20.
You see the guys running in, and they look extremely similar ones that you saw at the camp. All clutching something in their hands like this, but tired and gaunt and yellow eyes, and dashing. The hooves begin to sound even closer. They seem around like a bend of the cliffside or something along this river bend, and be joining here soon. Nice.
Okay, so this lady disappeared, right?
Fortunately.
Okay. Yeah, when she's...
You can give me an Arcana check. I feel like you've seen.
Oh, almost 15. Just kidding. 5. 5 plus 5, 10.
Okay. Some sort of teleportation, potential magic. You've seen it a few times, but in this moment, you're just not connecting.
Okay.
Which one?
Yeah, she looks incredibly frustrated. But she, with that, she kind of like leaps out over the wall and
I'm gonna remind everybody too, all three of you have that same stone with the scorching ray and the fireball stuff that they have.
oh,
Just gonna remind you that we gave each of you three one of those. If you end up
right.
Well, I know what I'm gonna yeet.
just gonna say that.
I feel like it's Mark saying that, not Zachary. Stop killing people!
No, it's definitely not Zachary. But
Yeah, the brainwashed elves.
Burn them
but-
all! Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Zach isn't so much about you guys doing it. It's...
So I run over to where Kahu is,
Yeah.
and sorry, her leaving threw me off. I probably should have been planning this earlier. So I think what I'll do actually is, just kidding. I want to go over here a little more instead. And I want to cast. Are these guys are using arrows?
No.
Or are they just running?
They seem to be running. They all seem to have daggers on them, but none of them seem to have their daggers out.
Okay.
You get that crazed look that you saw earlier from them.
Okay.
You mean inside if you're
So-
not sure if that works.
I can. 15.
Seems that whatever's driving them is willing them to die for this cause.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see the yellow in their eyes, the same magic that.
Do they look
Pushing
just as
Connor.
exhausted as the other guys, or do they look slightly less exhausted? You know how the other ones just like died of exhaustion?
They look pretty close to it.
Okay. So I will, for now, I'll take aim at this one, just because they seem to have glowing weapons.
Another thing with your insight,
Mhm.
because you have been exhausted and you can feel the effects on yourself, whatever is pushing them is seemingly pushing them past this exhaustion. They don't currently seem to be taking the negative effects.
Okay. Sounds good.
Might need to take a little bit more downtime investigation, maybe not in the middle of a fight, to maybe understand that a little bit.
Sure. Okay. I will just, for now, I'll aim at this one with one of the weapons.
Sorry, which one?
One of the glowing weapons.
Okay, sure.
Like, I'm backing up Kahu, but I want to get rid of these guys first.
Definitely.
Okay, that's a 28.
28? Maybe.
I
Sure.
think so.
I think
It's
that
a
might
little
just
over.
overkill.
So 11 damage.
11.
And for my bonus action, I'll cast Spiritual Weapon.
Ooh.
Um,
What does it look like?
it looks like a glaive, like the one I use. It's made of pure crackling lightning, the whole thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll cast it over here on this guy too.
The 60 feet you can go?
Yeah. Oh,
Make it.
yeah, then go right there then, yeah. I like how you knew that off the top of your head because of Renan.
Renan! Yeah. Yeah, someone yesterday was
Okay.
like, here's my first level spiritual weapon. I'm like, that's not gonna fly. That's a second level. I know that one at the back of my hand.
Yeah.
Good roll.
Oh, I got a nat one though.
He's just like, and just like ducks out of the way, but as it hits the rock around him.
That's my turn.
Perfect. Zachary.
All right. So, real quickly, I'm seeing conflicting things. On my spell card, I see spiritual weapon as concentration, but in D&D Beyond, it's not. So, who wants to break that tie? I think it's not.
Spiritual weapon is not
It's not
concentration.
concentration.
I'm crossing it off because that's really confusing.
Weird. Yeah.
Why are you telling me it's concentration spell card? I always thought it wasn't, but that really made me question.
Yeah,
it.
like,
Wait.
Okay. So I'm just gonna yell out like, "Let me know if you need me," and I'm gonna spiritual weapon, bust a hole in the ceiling with that, so I can have
Oh, yeah.
access out. And then I'm going to, I'm Kool-Aid manning the ceiling with my spiritual weapon. And then I'm gonna go action Radiant Soul. So my wings sprout out.
all right.
Oh,
Give me an attack roll on the ceiling.
On the
Not
ceiling.
high. It's not high.
Okay.
I mean, he had to do an athletics earlier.
27 to hit.
Yeah, totally fine.
Nice job.
So just kind of like in the hallway above me, there's a big hole now, so I can have access if I need to. But yes, just gonna shout out, "Let me know if you need me," and have a way out quickly. Again, kind of staring down Connor.
You see Connor in this flash of red and yellow, his eyes just kind of shimmering with it. His mind goes somewhere else, and he's falling backwards, crawling away from you, terrified of you.
Okay.
Fortunately, rolled a natural one.
Well, it's better than him grabbing me, so.
Yep. Poor boy.
I
Connor.
don't like being touched. I
Connor's
don't know if you know.
Not doing well.
Don't
Alright.
touch me.
He's cowering at least like I wanted him
But
to.
you
Get
are-
down underneath the bed.
Right. Yeah. Okay, that's one way to do it. So you are staying on the ground though currently, right? Just wings out. Or are you
Currently,
rising up?
I am not out yet. I'm
Okay.
still in the bunker.
Cool. Yahoo!
Kyle's gonna look over at the group charging, clutching onto something. He's gonna pull out a stone. He's gonna huck it as he cracks it and lands it right about there. You can see me pinging.
Yep. So that's a, if I remember, I don't have my stuff up. 20-foot radius.
And he's going to say, "I'm sorry," as he throws it.
Yeah, that's all of them. So I'll need to make a dex check. We're gonna go top to bottom. Did I give you a DC?
I think it's just like 15 or something like that.
I think it was 15 as
I
well.
need to look and see
Thought it
if
was
I have
15.
one.
I think I was using 15 before.
Yeah, I didn't get a DC.
Okay.
No.
So just no for the stones is 15. First one succeeds. Second one succeeds. Third fails. Succeeds. Fails. Fails. So let's see.
25 points of fire damage.
Alright. Oof. That guy. So the 3 that failed are just running through this fire, burned, bloodied. They don't look like they're long for this world. The others look like they definitely took damage, so that'd be 5. Give that 13. They are just, they're obviously still burned, but they're like just close to bloodied. All right, that is your go. You do anything else?
Does it look like they're holding on to something similar to what I just tossed?
Perception check.
That's a pretty good question, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
12.
Not sure.
Even with my perception before.
They're covering something. Would the connection potentially be that they're holding something similar? Could be, for sure, but you just can't see this whatever they're holding.
Okay, I'm going to grow large as a bonus action. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I'm going to attempt to stab the guy with an action surge right in the location where he's covering his hands. I'm going to strike at that particular spot.
I'm going to say this is a called shot. You can roll with disadvantage.
Okay.
Still have D4.
Yeah!
You're so blessed.
Bless.
If they're about to pick off a chain reaction.
Well, if a chain reaction happened, it would have happened the first time.
Yeah, you're fine. I'm just joking. You're good.
So that... It's a 23 to hit.
3 hits. You stab through his hands, and you can see this cracking, glowing red begin to emanate.
And do I roll for damage?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me damage on the hit first.
Uh, 17 points.
Okay. Yeah, so this guy is down. But you can, as you're coming closer, the hands fall, and through your spear, you just see that stone crack and then explode. So give me a dexterity saving throw, please. Go through this again.
Hey, plus for that too.
Yeah.
He failed. Wow, 2 nat 1s. Risha.
Ooh.
Alright,
Oh yeah, this
so
was
the only person to succeed was the first guy.
a 26.
Yeah, you succeed. I guess I'll roll the damage. Do you want to roll the damage? I mean, you're kind of the one doing most of the damage here, so why don't you roll 8d6 then?
Okay.
Up to you, unless you want me to roll it.
No, I'm doing it.
God wants to do it. He likes math.
He's a man that
Numbers.
loves math.
Yeah.
27 points.
27 points. Halved, that'd be what?
13.
13?
Math.
Job, mathers.
I'll give you the 14 on that one. But this guy is still up. Extremely bloodied. Everyone else took the full. So yeah, they're down. And then you took half, right?
Yep.
Uh,
And then I'm good.
I put 14 on them. You can take the 13 on you. I'm just giving you the enemy player balance.
I'm then going to turn and throw my spear as my last attack at the last guy.
Okay. Sure. Through the tent. It's fine.
Go to sleep.
A
The
10 is
19.
explode.
How much?
19.
19
hit?
hit.
I'm sure that 10 has been gone twice now because 2 stones have
Yeah,
come
that's a
from
good point.
episode.
Yeah, for sure. For
I
sure.
was being really intense right now too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's
Being out tense.
Ouch. 9 points of damage on the spear throw.
okay.
And
Give
1
me-
point of
Oh,
sight.
wait. Plus 4 cold damage because it's my special spear. So
Rachel.
I need you to give me a D20 roll, sir. Let's see how well this stone holds up as it falls through.
a 13.
This one falls, and the stone cracks, but just rolls out of his hand. And you kind of like wince for a second. It doesn't explode. All right.
And then Kahu, as a giant, just slowly moves his head towards the other group of
Perfect.
elves out there.
All right. You do anything? Are you staying there? You do anything else?
That's everything. That's my movement. That's my bonus action. That's action surge.
Perfect.
All of it.
That's not a bad round. I'm gonna take it.
One heck of a turn, let me tell you what. You saved a lot of explosions going off. Yeah, Ergon doesn't see anything on this one. Connor is not like screaming in terror or anything, but he's just like slowly kind of gaining his breath back and just you're seeing this weird flicker of like in and out of reality for him. Makai.
Okay, I'm going to move first. Yeah. Who's this other Nias over here, by the way?
Spiritual weapon.
By
My spiritual weapon.
Oh, okay, cool. It's cute.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's
I was
a-
hoping
it's a
for
lightning
deadly, but
blade.
that's fine.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's cute
Jagged
because it's you.
lightning blade.
It's fierce.
Yeah.
It's spiritual.
Well, I thought it was just another Elias for a second. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep shooting the things. Actually,
Go for it.
yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna
They
go
look,
for that. Hurt.
they look pretty in shock from just what happened.
Cool, they should.
Right. Alistar looking at them.
We're gonna shoot that guy.
Yep. They both have slight cover.
That's hold on. 22.
22 hits.
Tight.
I'm feeling 22.
Max damage. 13 points.
Gosh. Alright. Bloodied. Looking rough.
Shoot him again.
Do it.
26 to hit.
One hit. 26 hits.
Sorry, you hit. Oh, same max damage. It's another.
Okay, girl. Like,
Thanks,
wow.
Amara Dice.
Overkill, girl.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That one's down.
Yep.
Cool. And then I'm going to swing my focus around, and the hoof steps are coming from up here.
From the north, yep. Like
Oh,
around,
okay.
around like the riverbed.
Just around the riverbend.
Just around the riverbed.
And I'll yeah, so yep. Cool. And I'm out here. Yep.
Right. Arendelle is gone. Give them perception checks. Nope. They are staring at Kaho. So All of these attacks are going after Kahu after that wild
Makes sense. Makes sense.
blaze of thing. All right. I'm just gonna roll a different dice. So let's bring out my deadly elf dice.
You've already quit on the new dice?
Yeah, not as a DM. I feel like it's not a DM dice. It's just too kind to you guys, you know? A lot of nat ones happening. There we go, that's a little better. 25.
I don't think that hits.
Ooh, my dice flew out of there. So the first one down at the bottom missed, second one hits. 15 plus 3, so it's 18.
That is a mess. My shield gets in the way.
Nice. And the last one. It's another nat one, so it's not the dice. It's me. That's alright. Alright. You take 8 points of damage as just
You notice my skin's a bit harder. It doesn't go quite as deep as you'd think.
Yeah. I get. Alright. With that, you guys can start seeing horses coming around the corner up at the top. Give me perception checks. The 3 that are out there.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
That's what
I'm
you
so
get it on?
exhausted, aren't I?
I think you have one level.
I think
Yeah.
I have
that
one
one.
level.
Yeah.
I rolled a 20, but I'm realizing that I have to do disadvantage on ability checks.
A 12
So-
again.
Sorry, 25. Still.
Nice. Perfect. As you guys do, all of you, 3 of you can see 6 horses riding in from the One Itch Heroes crew. They got a little ad on the side. But you look up, and instead of elves, you see Kalishtar riding in. Kahu, your sister, up in front. As they are now coming in and taking their own attacks. Of course. Yep. A lot of nat 20s.
Kahu, are you okay with us killing your 2 older siblings?
I can't. You can't. It's not your turn.
You
I know.
can't do that. What? Suddenly these elves start looking up and they're being shot at with arrows from the north as they're kind of riding in. I'll go ahead and put tokens up here. A lot of nat 20s.
Oh.
We'll say 1. There we go. First one is sister there. All right, nice. You go. You now see the tides of this ambush now completely changing.
Okay. So I'll move. Let's see, where it was 35 to here. I'll move to here. And I'll use my bonus action to attack this one.
Okay.
And then also attack with my normal attack. I will say I'm trying to go non-lethal and at least keep one alive.
Okay.
So
They seem to have. Well, let's see. Actually, no, these 2 aren't touched. Never mind.
So this one is a 20-something with Zach.
Thanks.
Zach's bless.
20 something just hits their AC.
So for her attack with her bow, it's 13.
13. And you're doing
And
this
then,
one.
yes. And my bonus action, is it still up? Or is he still up?
What is up?
Is the guy attacking still up?
Oh yes, he's.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about a
and
spell.
then-
I'm like, I don't know. You didn't get hit. I don't think.
Bonus action for the spiritual weapon is a 24.
24 hits as well. Yeah, you guys are good. If you're in the 20s, just say it. You're fine. At this point, in this fight at least. 8.
8.
He's still up.
Okay. And I'll say in Kahu's head, because we've been linked, I'll say in Kahu's head we should keep some alive if we can.
Sounds good.
All
She
right.
sounds mad in her head, though.
Kyle probably would have just said, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Zachary, here you go.
All right. So I'm going to pop out of the hole and kind of look real quick, just like 10 feet or
meerkat.
something, a movement to fly upright.
Yeah.
And just look out and see who of my friends look like they're the worst off. I'm guessing it's Kahu, but
Most likely, I'm guessing. Yep.
like fire all around him. Oh my goodness.
It might be Anias.
Okay. It's like one arrow sticking out of my shoulder.
Okay,
Just
Kahu,
one.
I'm gonna distance healing word at 3rd level for you.
All right.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh, that distance is so good.
So
I know,
fun.
So let me roll that for you.
The distance and the double length.
5, 7, 10, 15 points of healing back to you.
So I finally got a chance to catch up on the gifts, and I just see all these smites, and then Mark with the whole, gingerbread guy. I love it.
15 to you, Kahu.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And then I'm gonna drop back down into the room.
Perfect. All right. So that's your turn. Kahu. Now see your sister riding in. Her eyes just kind of glance over at you and then back at these elves, just anger. Ridden.
I'm going to move up. There. And I'm going to throw my spear at this guy.
Sweet. You right? Throw the spear at him.
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, he said if it's over 20, don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I hit with a lot.
Oh yeah, that spear gets him every time.
Yeah.
We're just in the north of the Kalishtar, you know.
Then 9 points of damage.
9? Oh yeah.
9.
That's gonna leave a bruise there.
Bonus action, I'm gonna bring it back.
Whoa,
Chuck him out
bonus
again.
action, don't you know?
Try to hit
Sorry,
him in the
bud.
leg or something so that I'm not like outright killing him. But
Okay.
if it happens, it happens.
Non-lethal, I like it. I really want to DM now, just always Scanson kinda, you know, just a little 80s horror film up there or something.
John has a
There you go.
Dragonborn character with that accent.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
No,
that,
he wasn't Dragonborn. He was a Hexblood.
oh, that Humat soul there's got a little deeper, slower accent.
That's a 19 to hit.
19 hits.
That's
Alright, let me refresh this. Anything over a 15 on these guys hits.
That's 10 points of damage.
10, nice. Perfect. He is starting to look, bloodied. They both kind of look on their second half of health, kind of a few things. They're both looking pretty scared at this point. Anything else?
And he'll keep some for questioning.
Are you yelling that at your sister?
I'm just yelling it out loud in general.
Give me a persuasion check. The disadvantage.
Yeah, no one's listening. That's a nat 1 at disadvantage.
Boy, ouch. No one's listening. Alright, Ergon. I think your sister's here, Kaho. Stick around.
Imagine him, he's just blind, just like,
Whoa, that's caramel. That's an Arrow Crisp from Canada. That's real good there.
He's
Connor,
had good food in a while.
He
I don't
really
blame
has.
him.
Connor's seeming stable for now. Really wondering where Zach went for the most part. Make
I'm
eye.
back with them.
It's a cookie I stole from Car's stash. Alright.
See that pocket.
Bucket cookies? Yeah. So I'm gonna terrify this guy and go right up to him.
Ah.
And, I would...
You just make
You know,
eye
I have so much movement. I still have 10 feet left, too.
Nice. Give me a d20 roll.
16.
Yeah, your hair luckily doesn't get too knotted as it goes flying.
Oh, that's
As she
good.
goes past you, but yeah.
So,
Pretty bad. Not gonna lie.
I'm going to... Oh, you guys said that in your head that you wanted to keep someone alive, huh?
Well, he just said it out
Yeah,
loud.
they just
actually.
said it.
Yeah, that's a natural one though.
I mean, maybe
That
I
was
had
for
perception.
sister, right?
That's true. Yeah,
now,
that's fair. That's persuasion. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
hold
heard
on.
him outside. You heard him say it out loud.
Oh, we heard him? Okay, cool. I don't have to roll for it.
I'll give you that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to stunning strike this guy. Maybe.
Cool.
Sleep.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
That,
You ever
this
just
is
like
a night.
punch the air and pretend you're Maykai?
Yeah, actually, sometimes I do. I do it to
I
people
thought-
who make me upset in traffic. Like gold line. Anyways,
I felt like Makai with my speaker. That was fun.
right? That's what I was thinking too. I can't go that fast yet. That's a 19, and then I'm going to punch them.
He saves on the Constitution, but roll me damage.
Oh, well,
You hit on the first one.
but
he's not
6
stunned.
plus 11.
All right. However, he is knocked out. So you just kind of holding him. You're like, go to. Really?
All right. Was that the last of them?
Oh, one more.
Oh,
This guy.
oh, shoot. Can't get to you. I can shoot you.
Drop your weapon.
I shoot him.
All right.
For 11.
And this time, he just kind of leans over forward on the crate. As
Well, we have one alive.
well, I mean, both are alive. They're just knocked
Oh,
out.
okay.
Now here comes riding in, and they all looking at them dispatched. You see her put up her hand as like you like have their bows like at the L's. But they all seem to be kind of surrounding you, Ahu, looking at the rest of you. This is where we'll take our break. We'll come back after you guys annihilated them. These poor elves. But yeah, what a crazy welcoming back from GaryCon for this Fates was. So thank you so much, One Inch Heroes, for raiding Mighty Smite, for you always making your presence known. Also want to point out for also boosting the server in our Discord. So, thank you, buddy. Just want to make sure that's shouted out. Heavy, Winter RPG, thank you so much for the follow. Smite with the cheers, Marky, all of you guys. Rafaziel, Azaloth with the host in the raid. ENG coming in. Oh, that was yesterday. Okay, cool. So we're caught up. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. We'll take a quick break as I reset a little bit. Smite! And then and then we'll be back. Go ahead and get up, take a break, get some popcorn, take some snacks, get hydrated. We'll be back for the second half of tonight's game of Fates. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Orchard Twilight. Happy birthday to you. Okay. I thought everyone else was gonna join in, then it was just me, so I was like, alright, let's go solo with it.
Anniversary.
Someone said BRB, so
He
you-
did,
they
he
weren't
could,
even
someone
present.
can clip it, it's fine.
I
Yeah.
threw one happy birthday in.
I said mine in French.
Omelette de fromage.
I put mine in the chat.
So, we're back from break, where both of the wives on the channel have successfully been mean to their husbands. So let's get back to where their characters are free from that abuse in their characters form. But we'll jump back in the Fates United. You guys have successfully found Ergon and Connor, and seemingly under some sort of influence or at his own will, your brother Kahu seemed to have tipped off Arendelle and these elves, and you actually got into an ambush. The last second, your sister showing up, and a little late, maybe could have helped a little earlier. You guys were fine, but it almost seemed like Arendelle was teasing you all, knowingly that you guys would show up. But we jump back in. Your sister, why am I blanking out right now? Aikika, charging in around you. Luana is with her as well, but Akamu is not here. 6 of them. He looks over at you. Alrighty, walking around disrespecting the tribe with your tattoo. And you let them go. Failing already as a chief, aren't we, Kahu?
Like Kika.
Looks around. So you let brother go as well?
We need to get him back.
Obviously.
What are you on your pie horse? You were late.
Who are you, outsider?
Make I?
And that should mean something to me?
Moon chosen.
Good for you.
I don't know what you mean.
She turns it back to Kahu. And you have brought outsiders with sass with you. So that's going to help you run the tribe.
Well, it surely seems to help you in your estimation.
There's a small hint of like a smile of like that brother sister going back and forth and like quickly fades away. It's just like, hold on to it. Well, at least you're not dead. But you did scare them away. I heard wind that their main camp was down here, trying to catch them by surprise.
While they're talking, can I be rolling perception to see if I can see that lady? Kind of like walking around in the background as they're talking, like keeping an eye out, but a little pacey.
Yeah, like 2 of them are just like keeping your eyes on you, like, what is she doing? Yeah, but go ahead and give him
Like
perception.
sparks are like flying out of my necklace.
We'd come this way searching for Ergon ourselves.
Oops.
Do the perception check is real quick.
Oh well.
Oh, well. Okay, Karis, you did not see anything. Yeah, no,
Okay.
unfortunately not. You kind of like replay it back in your head, and you've seen that orange spell before. By this point, they're probably long gone, but that spell is more of a localized teleportation.
Mm.
So unless they've circled back and are watching you home.
Okay.
Be anything. Sorry, what did you say, Colin?
We just said we ourselves came here to search for Ergon.
Of course. Our tips as well. We just recently seen Talk. Why are you wearing Mother's tattoo?
But she offered to give it to me.
Of course. Kind of just see the others kind of just giving you a bit of disgust. A look. Your sister a little more neutral. The younger sister. Kind of looking.
Why is it that you put such importance on the tattoo when we have much more bigger things to worry about?
tradition, brother. Everything has its place. Been like that for years and kept us safe.
Is it our traditions? Or is it the ones we want them to be?
Think I want this? Do you think I wanted to be raised to have an unnormal childhood?
Can I insight check her?
Sure. A lot older than you. You guys haven't spent much time bonding, getting together.
23.
Nice.
She's pretty spiteful and truthful.
Okay. Keep talking. I'm listening.
You think I enjoyed growing up with the responsibility that I'd take over running everything? It's still my responsibility, though. What has happened to you, brother? I love you. Is unnatural. Give up this title and join my ranks and unite us again. And maybe then we could survive. Find a way to end this curse on our tribe.
Akika, what is it that you truly want?
And I'm sorry, did you have... Oh, you didn't. Okay. Another horse kind of steps forward, and Kalishtar, you kind of hear him spite out, like the word for high chief, almost as in like a do not disrespect her by saying her name sort of thing. She kind of just puts up her hand. He disrespects all of our traditions. Pahuranji kind of like steps down. You see that she's kind of wearing very like ornate kind of face paint and has gotten extra tattoos, though she is wearing the one of the chieftain-elect that she stole at the ritual. Regardless, our squalor is not among each other. We are trying to end this curse and push back the corruption. They have brother. Seems that he is led by hatred and betrayal, and you showing up right into their hand.
You seemed to already be there by the time I showed up.
I was working on him. He was pointing us right to where they were. Apparently they
Showed up.
holed up somewhere on the ground by the ocean. That's all I know. Our only good leads gone. Their clutches. For them to regroup and attack us again when we're not ready. You show no signs of a good leader.
Come seeking for you, because we need to be together.
Here I am. So are these your other cursed friends now? Are these the ones that you hang out with?
These are the people that have watched my back, and who have bled and fought with me, yes. They are my friends.
He points over to Anais, who's, I'm guessing, still somewhat pacing.
Yeah, I like have my ear to the conversation for sure. I was pacing as the conversation went down. She sort of slowed and was just kind of surveying the woods, but is again within earshot of the conversation.
Zachary, Makai, what are you guys doing?
Being sassy to his sister.
Zach hasn't shown himself, so I don't even know if she knows he's here.
Yeah, no, I was just
honestly.
asking what you're doing back there. Yeah, she doesn't know
He's
either.
just chilling with Connor and Ergon, just Maybe like
Having some
Ergon,
snacks.
like whisper what's going on. Like he could be my eyes out there with his bird. So
Perfect. Yeah, he's kind of relaying a little bit of the conversation, and you're having a little bit of hard time because he's smacking in between like caramel bites, but he's kind of relaying for the most part what's going on. But Akika points over to Anais. She goes, "You're bringing in the ones that are trying to kill us. Do you not see the rest of her kind? And the humans?"
Akika, do not point towards her.
She just like opens up her hand still towards Anais. "Oh, so you defend the elf? Our enemies?
Did
How
you
many
not
of
claim
our
to
kind
me-
have they killed already?"
Do you not claim to have said that I do not know how you grew up? Yet you claim to know how every single other creature out there grew up. You claim to know where their stand is in life and what they should be. Who should be 6 feet in the dirt and who shouldn't be. I see you here, surrounded by a group of people, ready to have fought. How many of the names of people do you know who have died on that battlefield and who have bled in the dirt? I understand that you had to face your own challenges, but how often did you hear the screams and the mournings of children? The yells of friends fighting and bleeding next to each other? How often? How much do you truly understand war, sister? I know you are here right now, but how much do you understand what is lost? For each inch, for each fight, for each moment that blades are raised against each other, whether it's elves in Kalishtar, whether it's humans in Kalishtar, whether it's dwarves in Kalishtar. You know how many lives become ruined? Do you understand the weight that is
He
to
rips
bear?
off the sleeve that she's wearing and he cuts down her arm. "I've been the one in this war, brother. Kahu, brother. You're the one who has not been fighting with us. So, you have returned to what? Claim your army? To bring
I
in
see.
peace talks with those? We don't have the luxury of getting to know where they have risen, where they have
And
grown up.
why do you not have the luxury? Have you tried?
We have tried many. Whoever is pushing these elves, whoever is behind this, we have asked for aid on Asuka, and she looks over at Meikai, with no response.
Well, they're probably all having a very bad time.
Or they're just hiding.
Maybe.
We have asked aid from the humans and from Celestia. And of course, no one cares about us. Lofty off in our forest and our mountains. Oh, are you really that naive? So what? What do you propose then? We're here, we're talking. Let's have this luxury.
What do I propose? You see over there? That is Anais. Her father sought to bind the elves together. Ford, the one who controls these, as I look over at the ones who are all burned to ash on the side. She has faced this group before. Done similar things. What has happened to our brother, to her family, brought ruin to her people who sought to make a change. There are dark forces here.
There are many dark forces.
I sign to make it look like it's obvious I'm communicating, but I'll say in Kahu's head since he doesn't know what I'm saying. Maybe it'll look impressive because he can understand sign language now. But I'll say there's a way to save your brother, potentially. All these elves are being controlled.
You're translating that? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be nice if we had a brother. Let him escape. It's supposed to be how we got him back.
Trust me,
Let
hunting
us
down
work.
that woman is my top priority.
Careless what dies or leaves us. It's almost like she's looking at you, Kahu, though speaking to Anais. Her mouth. She's still unwilling to almost like give the respect or dignity. We are
Sister, let us work together. And let us find a path that binds the world together. And then you'll hear her, and then I'm going to speak directly to her mind. I have been chosen. And with that weight, means when my day finally comes, all will forget who I was, including you. And you will be needed to fulfill and protect this family. I don't know why I am here now, but I'm going to stride with it.
Equation with flat roll.
Natural one.
Oof.
She like just walks towards you, listening to you, and you guys can kind of recognize the talking between. Luan is again just kind of looking and trying to take in this moment. Your sister, your older sister, begins tracing the Leviathan tattoo around you, almost marking it with her nail a little bit. You want to prove yourself worthy. You want to prove yourself that's not cursed. Rid us of these threats. Then, you and I figure out who. Till that time, I'm gonna do what I know is best for our people. Rid us either of the temple, of the creatures that are marking us, or rid us of Lightus. Then I defend the board.
Protect and work with our people. And we will hunt Lightus.
I don't trust him. Prove yourselves. I'll take what's rightfully.
I'll pull out Maya's dagger and I'll hand it to her.
She doesn't take it. Not mine. We get our brother
Correct.
back to him.
But it is mine for now. And you know I'll be back to collect. Protect our people.
Takes it.
Mother almost died. She should hear from you.
Another persuasion check.
Natural one.
What?
Her heart just cold and walled up from this. Everything that has happened. You get a glimpse of a want and a desire across you, and almost even a glimpse wanting to give all this up. But then it coldens, her eyes deaden, almost back to this responsibility that has been ingrained in her childhood. Takes the knife, twirls it. Prove yourself worthy, useful to me. You and I one-on-one. Rightfully made. Puts it in her sheath.
Will you at least speak with Mother?
She's already turned her back on me. Gets up on her horse.
I'm gonna grab my stone and throw it at her. Once a day, you can speak to whoever you wish.
Somebody else on fires.
I'll be back.
Cool. Magic's the humans.
Magic's
Really
of
have-
someone.
Really have fallen for our cause. Pocket. I would start checking towards the coast. She kicks, and the 5 kick off. Luana just stays second on her horse. Well missed
Night.
you, brother.
I'll
Says
just
in
look
your
to
head.
her. Missed you too. I want to figure out how to make things right.
Check it out. Put her head down and just writes out. You guys are left.
Final thing I'll just say as she's writing off is, your love for your family helps.
Give me another persuasion check. Advantage on this one.
Make it.
18.
Oh.
I was like, 1 and 1. It's gonna be 1 and 1. I just know it.
There's another
Tell
one.
us.
Just smite. Just.
That happened with Brian and Ias. I had like a bunch of persuasion tries. I
That's
rolled a
right,
1 and a
it was
1.
lot, yeah.
It's so bad. I feel the
Yep.
pain.
She just kind of
Yeah.
looks back. A silent nod. Paul is behind her.
And turn around, look back at her eyes, and connect to her. Just be like, you're ready to hunt.
Absolutely. You did as well as you could with her.
Thank you.
Your family's super stuck on tradition.
We're stuck on what we believe is tradition.
I mean, I can't really say much. The tieflings battle people to
Nope.
defend their honor, but you know what? You know what?
That's fair. I mean,
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah, but it's a little different. Like, I feel like if a magic fire chose me or something, maybe I would listen to it. That's tradition to listen to the fire, yes? So, they're not listening to the fire, so they're the ones breaking tradition, I'm just saying.
unless you feel you were cheated.
Hey, Zachary. Should we go out there now? It's awkward.
You want?
No, I'm fine. We can stay in here. It's fine. It was really awkward.
I'm gonna walk over and grab the elf that's unconscious but not dead and start dragging him over to where Zach might be at.
Me
I'll bring
too,
the other one.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Anais, can you come help me?
Oh, and I'm gonna collect the stones that aren't mostly cracked.
Yes, I would like to help.
And I'm gonna take the cracked one, I'm gonna huck it off to the side.
Sure. Sounds good.
How many do I find?
We should have put that into the water, and then it could have fish.
I go straight. I help with the body, but I go straight back
So
to
3 uncracked.
Zach and Connor.
Mm.
You guys want to check around the camp at all? You guys do?
Yeah. I'll help.
I will later.
Currently just kind
I'm
of
headed
regrouping.
to the others just to check and make sure Zach and Connor are okay.
Oh, you said you're taking the 2 unconscious back to the prison as well?
Yep.
Yeah, currently, Connor is still kind of just in the corner, just after all this. You just see him clutch, looking at him, just not with you guys. Ergon's just kind of sitting on the bed, and what are you doing, Zach?
So if they bring back in somebody, we're healing these people. Is that what we're doing? Okay.
Please.
They may be cursed, so might one by one.
I'll start with the first one and kind of stand over them and bring my hand up with glowing and put it on their chest. And
Do you have them tied up or anything? In a cage, or just kind of out in the open?
I would just have them out in the open, but
I'll be holding them down. They seem pretty weak, potentially.
Okay.
So I'll just kind of be like holding their shoulders down.
I'll help hold them down too.
Zach, you are bringing them back up?
I'll do remove curse on this one to see if I can cleanse the corrupted energy that they have.
Still unconscious.
Okay, you have any pocket cookies?
Mm-hmm.
You may need one when he wakes up.
And as you put your staff there, your symbol glows and the fire burns, and again you see that yellow, almost poison energy Corbin get away. Still
I'll turn to
unconscious.
the other one.
Same
Do the
thing.
same thing.
Same thing happens.
And be like, about tapped, guys. So,
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for.
and I'll sit back down next to Connor.
I'll do cure wounds for one of the guys.
Okay. They are both. Okay. And cure wounds?
And yeah, I'll sign. Are you ready? Are you all ready? In case something happens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready. I'm gonna hold
9
down.
or 8.
This one is kind of part of the same Red Wings that you saw before, that same tribe. And just kind of like first tries to kind of push back in fear. Not looking around as he's feeling it. Especially now, you don't feel any resistance really to you guys holding them down. Their muscles seemed atrophied. His eyes gaunt. Looking around. He only speaks Elvish. And if he speaks Elvish, just kind of right now looking at all.
What was
Are
that?
you okay?
I have no
Yeah.
clue what that was. Okay.
I'm gonna say to them in Elvish, are you okay?
You just see him like trying to clear his mind. They don't know. They... Are you with her? Golden lady.
with her. And I'm gonna point to Anais.
There's a little bit of recognition. I don't get involved, please. I just want to go home. I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
Pull out one of my rations, like hand it to him.
Vision check.
Uh, 10?
I looks at it.
Eat.
I'm kind of like grab it and like nibble on it, but it's still like kind of weary and more or less just fidgeting with it. Please, I didn't mean to do what I did. Really,
We know.
It's like waking up from a dream.
I'm gonna get up from the bed and kind of crouch down beside him, put a hand on his shoulder. Hey.
Very much like an injured animal just recoiling. Person's been through a lot.
It's okay. It's over. You and your friend over here. You're out. We're gonna keep you safe. We just need to know if you can remember anything that might be helpful to us.
I'm gonna come after her. Want her. He looks over at Kahu. They want him.
If I sign, does he seem to get it? Okay, so I'll rely on Zach, but
Translate.
I'll sign.
Yeah,
do
that
you know what
signing
for?
thing, you kind of just in your memory. It's not anything that the other tribes really did. It kind of seemed like within your own tribe. And just because of your father with the intellect and just kind of as like a special thing. And it slowly kind of bled into a few other people in your tribe. But it was more of just like a family and a tribal thing.
So yeah, I just sign. Do you know why?
Oh, they just called you heathens. It's you two are the reason. Drought. Why we're cursed.
What happened? Were you at the council meeting?
Please, I don't know anything. I don't want to be here anymore. Let me go home.
I believe you.
I don't know if a home is there to go back to.
Don't think your home is safe. I'm gonna just look to Kyle. You cool if they stay with your people?
No.
I'm asking Kahu that in non-Elvish,
Okay.
so he can't understand this.
Sure.
Mm.
May be able to entrust them into Ergon, but my people alone may be less than accepting right now.
If nowhere else to go, though.
They accepted me to a certain extent.
Ergon, do you feel that you could handle them in your charge?
For everything we've been through. I don't know what more people will take it.
And just kind of nods. He's not like getting any closer. He just kind of nods at this elf, speaking in Elvish. And again,
We've been through this together, though. Maybe we can find a refuge.
kind of goes back to comments you guys can only.
There's great evil, whatever they're doing.
I agree.
Which is why no one should turn their back on them right now.
It means that we need to do something good in return.
Or
I think it
scared,
was
Zachary.
obvious. It was obvious from last night, though, that they're being controlled. Your people saw that. Wouldn't you want? I mean, we're just talking about allies, needing allies.
Our people might believe that they're being controlled, but they might also think willfully. You're gonna need to find proof. Have some.
I will find the proof. Ergon,
I brought you into this.
Ergon, do not apologize. I'm glad you are safe. You have been there for me when others have not. And I'm sorry I'm putting this on you. Yet again.
Different. Oh, this isn't war.
It is corruption.
Twisting their mind. Zealots. They are willing to die what they believe in.
No,
Betray everyone else around them.
you are correct that zealots are willing to die what they believe in, but these people are not zealots.
What I mean. Old and lady and those that are willfully following.
I understand. We will find her.
That's why we need to make sure that someone can keep these people safe. They might remember more as time goes on. This could be important. This isn't just about trust right now. This is about being strategic.
Even if they must be guarded, make sure they are treated well.
I can make sure of that. Zachary, I do trust you. I have become friends. You have to understand our people have gone through the histories between them are ingrained in what they've taught growing up. It's not going to happen quickly. Alhu and I can change that. You have to have faith in them. They have faith. Like you guys had faith in me. Kind of looking over at Connor in the back. Switches to Elvish. Alistar. What are you gonna do with him?
I need to talk to him. Then I'll figure it out. I switch, or I look at the guy in front of me and just say, or I will sign, just rest for a little bit. See if you can remember anything that can help us. The more you remember, the more you can tell us, the faster we can take care of her. And then she's gone.
It's gonna hurt me if I say anything. It's gonna kill us.
How can she hurt you if we're
Get
protecting
me in my
you?
dreams.
Has she before?
Where?
Is it the woman that we saw out there, or is it Bardicdice?
You kind of seem like shudder at Bardicdice. Say her name. Please. I remember hearing waves of water go underground. It was warm. That's all I remember. Everything else is
in and out. A lot of bad things under their control. Just don't want to be a part of this anymore.
What's the last thing you remember before things got strange?
Golden Lady Arundel came to a meeting with our tribe leader. Afterwards, tribe leader told us that we'd be saved if we followed them, and that they found water and home. We all celebrated. I remember.
I just insight in, see if he's telling the truth.
Sure. Yeah, insight with advantage.
Okay, so straight roll.
Sure. Yeah, I forgot you're exhausted.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a 20.
Yeah, he is so exhausted you'd be able to read right through him. He's terrified, both what you're gonna do to him, what they would do to him. You're just the more recent threat.
Mm-hmm.
Guy's on like his last legs. You get the feeling like he hasn't slept days.
I will give him water and cast calm emotions on him.
Sure. Is it a save or just happen?
It's a save if he resists.
Yeah, he's resisting. Had a
So
lot
17
of mind
DC.
control stuff happen, and he's not sure. What is it? DC 17? 17. He just seemed to shut
Okay.
his mind, and well, curse is gone. Never mind. Fail.
Okay.
He is quite exhausted. Tries to shut his mind off from what you're doing, and again just falls to it. Luckily, it has a pretty calming effect on him. He's
So maybe he can rest.
tired.
Then rest.
Kind of looking at the ball, looks surrounding him.
I'm gonna get up and get some bedding.
Starts eating the
Passes
rations
out.
a little bit more. Yeah, if you get him comfortable enough, right out.
I do. Would I know about like exhaustion? Like, if we left this other guy that's unconscious,
Give me a medicine check.
like,
Give it to you with yeah, advantage. We'll make it a flat roll.
I was gonna ask Zach too. Like, maybe we can both
Yeah.
figure it out. Like, if
With
we,
his knowledge,
we need to
your
wake
help,
him up.
We've gone through even Kahu's knowledge of like the plants. Let have stayed up in war and for limits.
I can heal him if I need to.
I rolled a 15 for medicine.
You're at 10.
Both of you know that with enough exhaustion, first, their just judgment and physical capabilities start faltering. But at this limit, they could potentially die. Bodies. With that, give me an Arcana check. Zachary, you can do this too.
Zach.
Anybody can, but Zachary, if you want to do it with advantage on yours.
6.
4.
23.
Right there. There you go. Especially with
now, kind of like the amount of times you've removed curse and you're trying to understand this, it's seeming like this is pushing themselves past their physical or mental limits. This magic is pushing them. Between that and the medicine checks, the basic knowledge that you have, you get the feeling like leaving them right here without the remove curse, they would have surely died. With the remove curse, you feel like they have a chance, but there's still potential. They're like on the edge. So you might have to do something to ensure they don't die.
Yeah, I'm going to...
Mechanically
Really?
speaking, they're like on the 6th one, and they'll have to do a save to see if they either rest from the exhaustion or faltered. Mechanically happen.
And I do this. I'm going to... I don't know if this is going to do anything, but I'm going to try it. It's really like at bottom of the barrel for me, for what I can do. I am going to cast on both of them and Anais, because why not? I'm going to cast Aid at 2nd level, but I'm going to extend it for 16 hours. So
Nice.
they have the extra 5 hit points that hopefully will help them fight through whatever they need to fight through.
$16, so nice.
Yeah, it's up 16 hours because I'm extending it, so.
I was just gonna try to get them comfy so they pass out.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Definitely.
He's gonna tell Ergon to do the same thing.
Just kind of give them that bolster of toughness to weather through the night or the day. So.
I'm not sure if that's good. What is needed for them to survive being pushed far. You almost feel like this spell has like put them past where they should have died.
My spell is killing them?
No. The whatever the yellow stuff was like when you did remove curse. You get the feeling like they are
okay.
past 6 exhaustion. But it was
okay.
like canceling that and pushing them past it. But now they are past that and trying to either on the edge of coming back and potentially recovering or but your aid
Cure wounds on one, healing hands on the other, then I'm absolutely tapped then. There's nothing else I can do anymore.
Hey!
So
Good job, Zach.
Cure wounds for 1 is going to be for 13. The other one is for... Wait.
I will say with your medicine checks and everything that you're doing, you get the feeling like moving them right now would not be a good idea.
Yeah, I don't plan on moving.
I assume they need at least 8 days of rest.
11 for the other.
Alright.
And I'm going to say, I'm going to go sleep now, guys. I am very tired.
Okay.
I'll keep watch. Just need a moment to
No.
rest. I'll be good.
I'm gonna talk to him.
And it just freaks out and goes, "The tiefling's been taken. The tiefling's been taken." Joking. Oh. But she's back. Okay.
She just stepped out for a moment. She'll be fine.
He's handling reality well. So, are you waking up that other one at all, or are you just kind of letting him rest? Or healing him and then just kind of like letting him
Well,
be
that's
in
what
that
I
focus?
wanted the medicine roll for in the first place was, do we know
Do,
if
like,
we need to give
stabilize
him like food and water first? Like in
Um,
order for him to have a better chance of making it?
Yes.
Okay, so I would say we would give him that first. Wake him up.
Try to do everything we can to help.
I
Give
mean,
him a
with
day
that
of
medicine
rest.
check, you could stabilize him, wake him up enough to be really kind of kind of have to nurture and watch them and force them to drink. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I would talk to Connor at some point, but if other people want to do stuff first, go.
I'd probably take a short rest and then take the first main watch.
I'm going for a long rest. Finding a corner and sleeping.
Yeah, it's like mid-afternoon. Still early in the day, but you can definitely rest. These beds are not comfy. They're not meant for good rest. Any of you guys during this time frame wanting to do anything else while you take a rest?
I figure the fact that I'm like taking care of these people and short resting, that's going to be taking up a lot of time.
Yeah.
How many people want to chat with me while I'm doing it? That's fine. But at the moment, that's kind of what I'm focused on.
Ergon's just kind of sitting there and eating the rations, just kind of looking outside, kind of like sitting on the outside of this prison, just kind of towards nature, just kind of helping be watched, but also just kind of being free again. Nice. You wanted to go talk to Connor?
Yeah.
Hey guys, is there anything you want to do?
I think helping where I can, and was it said out loud that the human king? Yeah, because she's like, the tieflings aren't helping us, and neither are the Asian-Mars or the humans. So I'm gonna write to Car and tell him about what she was saying, and also.
Yeah, he like finally like replied to you after you got up, like after the like, are you okay? Like, is everything fine? Like, what do you mean an attack happened in the middle of the night? Like, things are not nearly as bad here. Kinda
Tell
like
him
the
about more
response of the night.
attacks.
More attacks? Like he's like now up, like
Yeah. Thought he would also probably look to help Ergon as well as he's making his rounds.
Give Ergon more cookies and actual food. It's not just cookies, guys.
And keep an eye on Connor and Anais while the conversation's happening to make sure nothing happens.
Not more choking
Yeah.
incidents.
all right. You kind of walk over. Connor is now just kind of laid his head against the wall, and almost you see like this is like a comfort zone. Like he's like in his cell that he was in, laid up against the wall. You can see just little ticks on the wall, and at first they seem like days, but they kind of lost any sort of organization or understanding to what's happening. He's out of it when you walk in. He doesn't even seem to recognize your presence.
Like he, that I walked it like over to him type
Yeah,
of thing,
like
or
you're
like he
walking
just
over to him,
recognized me?
he's just like zoned out. As
Okay.
if he didn't even recognize someone walked in. You know, like when someone's daydreaming and they're thinking about something else?
Yeah.
Maybe he's having memories or visions or just not thinking. Not quite.
Okay. Yeah, I'll like sit in front of him, cross-legged. Like stare at him for like a second, like hoping he'll notice because I'm awkward. And if he doesn't notice me, I like reach out and like touch his shoulder, like.
Another nat 20. You touch his shoulder and it's just a quick start, but then he looks forward and just kind of like grabs your hand. Nice. We're here, right? Grabs a stone. He's like picking up a stone in his hand. He's like touching it. And exhales for a second.
I sign. Were you somewhere else before?
Don't. It's hard to know what's real and not any.
You were thinking about something before. What was it? A lost thought?
Hard for me to stay here.
I think I might know why. I won't say her name or sign her name because it seems to scare people. The woman that leads Lightus.
Bad. Dangerous. Got into my mind.
How?
He just like trying to like hold it together and find some inner strength. No. Keeps on saying she's waiting for you.
Waiting for me what? To come kill her?
Saying to take the rightful.
For me to take my rightful place or for her to take hers?
Ooh. That one. Like looking back out toward Ahu is. It's almost like he can't look you in the eyes either. So just like looking down way.
You scared of me? What are you afraid of then?
Afraid of her using me. Do more. Finally looks up at you. Monster. Or what she's.
What happened?
Tried standing up to them. Bent. Other people. Borrow. Somehow convinced many people follow him. Father had already my father had already gone to the drink.
Bad habit of his.
It is.
If it makes you feel any better, I poured out all his alcohol last time I saw him. He was not happy. So Varro came to where?
Philisterum.
Bryce said you heard. Well, Bryce said you were in a hunting accident. He saw your body.
Happy what they told him. I just stopped Varro. Front him. Someone else had me in the back. Woke up. Top of a volcano. All your family. Hey again. Sorry, I couldn't help them.
I couldn't either.
They gave me these tattoos. Go collect stones. Green, the one your friend wears. Just see, kind of like reaching up towards his tattoos. Throat. Stones out again. Lost in some memory or vision or reality.
While he's in that, can I like study him a little bit and see like if I can tell what's going on?
Sure. Give me a either insight or medicine. Stay on this one. For now, disadvantage just because you're exhausted and maybe over time you need to know
Sure.
to have.
Yeah, for insight I got a 9.
It reminds you of Varro a bit. Not Varro. The assassin when you were going up against him, or when you were like interrogating him. Seemed to like go in and out. That's all I can really. Why?
Okay. After a second, I'll like poke him again.
I just see tears. Sorry.
Where did you go?
Shakes his head. Give me a persuasion
You don't-
back with it.
Oh, Anais, a 14. That's very good for her.
Not bad.
I mean, it might not meet the DC, but it's good for her.
He just shakes his head and it's hot enough for living what they made me do.
You might need to tell me at some point. I won't make you now. Man, I guess I won't ever make you, but I'd like you to. I need to take them out.
And people for them.
Do you remember everything you did? Or is it a blur that some of them didn't remember?
Lost again.
Man! Okay, I'm gonna do one more thing and then I'm gonna leave him for now, but I wanna try and see if he comes back one more time.
Okay. The rest of you, jump real quick. Kind of lost for a while. He's like regressing to this. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm still tending everybody, but probably when I see Anais finish up talking, I'll probably end up asking if she's okay.
That. Give me a medicine check on. You're tending to them. Oh. You can go with advantage based on it with everything that Zachary set up.
For each of them?
You can just do one for both.
9.
9, okay. Pretty good. Kind of keeping an eye on them and waking them up every so often as you see them, maybe almost like their breathing come too shallow and you're giving water, trying to tend to them, and it's touch and go. but every time you seem to help, seems to put them a little bit further, deeper and deeper into sleep and some more rest. Wake up from easier every time. Zachary, you're sleeping, right? Mega, what are you doing?
I think after writing, I'll just like kind of keep watch out. I'm not outside, but like go to a point I can just
What are you saying
watch
to Carl?
from.
Is it just updates, or are you asking him anything?
Making sure that nothing's happening to him.
Seriously? Nothing? Just boring paperwork and trying to work out things with you. Trying to send aid, packages, trying to figure out this border army and calm down. Trying to get everyone to stand down for it.
Yeah, maybe just keep an eye out for the elves, honestly. Try to capture them.
Let everyone know about this.
They also have these stones that they throw that explode in fire. So be careful because those hurt.
Keep an eye out for. You're just kind of talking to Carl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I like to think she's on her bedroll, like her feet are swinging, like she's on her stomach and writing. Like,
We almost got ambushed by elves in the middle of war.
Yeah, well, she does express concern, like she is worried.
Oh, for sure,
but
for sure. I'm just joking.
yeah.
Amara, your
and
dice
she's
don't work
like-
for me as a DM, only as a
they
player.
work for players.
I found a very cute little squirrel. I named it Amara.
Oh,
I hung around me. No,
that's a lot of
yeah,
Maras and
keeping
Amaras. It's a lot. Keep those straight. All right. A nice. You try and do to bring him out of it.
One more, just like holding his shoulder this time. The dice. Kind of like shaking him just a little bit.
With a 17. Oh, our dice for he comes to again. You just kind of see the dark circles in his eyes returning. He does not like whatever he goes to happen. Getting very much like somewhat of a fractured mind feel from him.
I don't like that assassin, actually.
Very much
feel
like
like-
that assassin.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
Sorry. Still here.
Yeah.
Usually
I don't.
everyone's gone by the time.
Who? Okay. Hey, I don't. We can figure out details later. All right. But you need to know your dad's okay. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. He saved my life.
I was sure they'd use me to.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But he's... I promised him I'd find you.
Well, you did. Leave me. They use me. Please, I don't want to hurt you. I don't. Friends.
Well, my friend Zach did something to you. You feel better, don't you? A little bit?
Like touches the tattoos. Burn.
Yeah. So, some influence might be gone at least.
Worried she's trying to get you. She wants you to come after her.
And so I'm trying to be careful.
Way. Tomorrow. This matters anyway.
I kind of have other responsibilities now.
Looks at your forehead.
I don't just hide, the bushes all the time and watch you play with your friends anymore. I can actually do stuff now. I was too shy.
Obviously,
You were older.
still are. Why aren't you?
I just don't want to. Not until they're all dead.
I get that. Okay, keep it. Okay.
No.
Worth a try. Someone his father would.
I would say so. Besides, I made a promise to your dad. He's done everything for me.
Kind of see him fight off another back really. They're holed up just down the coast. Some bay. A lot of blue rocks that are in yellow.
Okay. Might be where they're hiding out still. Why were you in here?
Oh no. Left. One saying you'd be.
They know we've been looking for you, so that makes sense. So, you get some rest. Alright. Actually try and sleep.
Then you fight.
Are you up to it? Can you fight?
Please. You kind of see this
I
like
don't know.
precarious, like, please.
What can you do?
You trick something. Pretty quick.
Okay.
You're going. Have a 4 to 7.
Can I just insight him to make sure he's not having any sort of influence as he's talking right now?
Sure.
Because he does keep fading in and out. Disadvantage though.
Yep.
Not 20. 12.
12? What do you mean by like someone else trying to get him to say this?
Yeah, like him saying I'm coming with you. Like, is this him saying it, or is it like an influence source?
Hard to read. He's been going in and out, and this is quite far from the Connor you knew. There's glimpses of him and glimpses of Bri that kind of are still there, but they're racked with guilt. They're racked with some inner demon that he's fighting. On top of this cracked sense of reality, and it seems that they've messed with his mind. He's having a hard time remembering what's true, what's him, what's not. You also know he's been brought back to life.
Okay.
Hard to tell.
Okay.
He seems pretty
So-
genuine, at least as far as.
Okay. So, I'll sign See how you feel tomorrow. I'm not leaving you though, so we're gonna figure something out. Not for a while. Motion to them.
Really powerful.
Mm-hmm. Definitely better than me. No, it's okay. You'll watch me go unconscious about 10 times. It's fine. Just be prepared for it.
I mean, not doing too much better.
Maybe it's an elf thing.
See?
Okay, rest. Can you sleep? I can do a spell that can calm you down. That helps. If not,
You see him. I'll be fine. It's like quite clearly a precarious sort of like deception. It's he'd like it, but he's not going to admit it.
I actually roll my eyes and I'm like, oh my gosh, you look just like him. And I put my hand on him and I do calm emotions.
Oh, that's a thanks. Just out. He's pretty exhausted too. Not as far, like he doesn't look like he's been pushed as far as the other ones, but kind of like Ergon, where it's just kind of like they just haven't been treated well. They don't look like they've been pushed past it like the others have. But you see his face go calm for the first time that you've been talking to him. Seems to be getting decent rest.
Good. Sorry, Mark. Mark broke me.
Alright. So, who's taking first watch?
I definitely.
Who is, yeah.
Give me a
I'll
perception
help.
check.
I want to be up.
Sure. Perception check.
Medicine check was 22.
You mean perception?
Oh, I thought you said medicine.
No, perception.
Pretty 20.
Perception check 18.
18, okay. What'd you say, Keely?
Pretty 20. I'm just thinking of Zach being all cute, like a little cherub.
It's like he glows slightly.
It's a little nightlight.
Imagining all wings out, fireballing everybody.
It's his little ASMR wings are like wrapped around
He's
him.
talking about Zach here. He's healing everybody.
Sasha in his
Yeah.
hands, and yeah.
Oh yeah, he probably looks very heroic in his dream.
So you guys start watch. The sun starts going down.
I also would have asked it. And I would have still asked Anais too if she was doing okay. She was okay after her conversation.
Definitely. The every so often you can hear snap of twigs go quiet for a little bit. It just seems like a deer creature. That go ahead and check in on her if you want. Turn this spot.
Everything okay, Anais?
I don't know what's up with Connor. We can talk about it more with everybody tomorrow, but it's like his mind's fractured. You saw him, didn't you? That's where it is.
Yes.
I wonder if he keeps going back to her somehow.
Maybe. Best we can do is keep an eye on him.
Yeah. See if rest helps at all. I don't know. I'm not sure what to do.
Well, if you don't mind, let me watch over you tonight. You get some rest.
Okay. Are you good, sister? It's kind of awkward.
No. We're gonna figure it out, though.
It might just take time.
I agree. I wish I was as eloquent as Zach right now, but I'm not. So,
Yeah,
best
me
we can.
neither. Zach needs to give us lessons or something.
I mean, even in his sleep, he tends to.
I mean, I'll look at him.
Right? Everything's so dark and dingy in here, and yet there's a bright spot right over there, somehow.
I don't get how he does that.
I think it's just natural for him at this point.
Can tell. Make food.
Maybe when I get him up for his watch, I'll make him some oatmeal before I get him up.
I just feel like I really need to. That's a great idea. Okay. Yeah, we'll figure this out. Your sister doesn't seem entirely unreasonable.
She's not. I just don't know how to properly talk to her. We were basically raised in two different worlds. Same family, but very different ways.
And to lock you both in a room. I don't know if that would help.
And I need backup.
Yeah.
Get a long shirt.
Yeah. Maybe we'll learn more too. Maybe even helping your brother will be enough.
I'm hoping that'll be a good start. And hopefully with this lightest thing, we can help you out some more as well.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I think I'm gonna sleep. I'm super tired.
That's
I
fair.
need to not eat that grass again unless I really need to.
I tried to say something, but sometimes you just gotta experience it yourself.
Yeah, I didn't really believe. I mean, I believed you, but I didn't believe you to like the extent you were saying. So my bad.
Believe me,
I'm sorry.
biased.
I'll take your word for it next time.
Fair enough. Get some rest. I'll keep an eye out.
Okay. Wake me if you need me.
Will do.
Taking second watch.
I'll bring Zach his oatmeal, because he's been sleeping for a long time at this point.
Wake up, sleepy boy.
Yeah, have I completed a long rest at this point? Because I went to bed way before everybody.
I want to be quite a full rest. You guys are kind of about half. Because we're
Even
only
me?
yeah, we're only one watch through. You guys are one watch of full rest in.
Did I tell Mika?
Yeah, but they weren't resting, were they?
I'll tell Mika to go
Yeah, it
to
was like the
sleep
beginning
so that
of the rest when they
we
started.
can
it.
trade. I'll tell Mika to go to sleep if she's okay with it, so then we can trade.
No, sure. So I have second watch.
Well, same perception check.
I have
Yeah.
oatmeal ready to go for whoever wakes up next.
Then yeah, Zachary, you get your full long rest if they wake you up at the end of it. It's still at this point because the guys went to bed so early. It's 2-3 a.m. Nice is in the middle of her long rest. Meikai, you have not taken one yet, right? Because you were up.
No, she was
Or did you
sleeping.
sleep during the first half and now?
Yeah.
All right. So you're halfway through yours.
Mhm.
You haven't taken yet one. You guys are kind of all like really staggered. So, doing. Kind of waking up Zachary.
Wait, I don't think we were staggered. We were doing like an actual watch pattern.
I thought what we were doing was because it was early in the day. I just went to bed. They stayed up and did stuff and talked and all that.
It was like 2
We're
p.m.
just-
and he went to bed.
We're planning on having us all complete our rest by the next morning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Essentially.
Yeah, but it's only like
Okay.
2 or 3 a.m. right now.
Okay. Just,
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out
Understood.
who's waking up to do like a third watch, or if you're not doing a third watch, or what you're doing.
no, I'll do the third watch if I'm rested. So
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, you got a long rest.
okay. Yeah, I'll do the third watch if you guys are all needing to sleep.
Yeah, because like you said, you started yours early, so it's like staggering it. So.
Oh, I see. I didn't mean everyone else was. It was like the three of us had a rotation at least.
Yeah.
Zach didn't, so that's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll wake up Zach then at the end of mine. Hey, Zachary,
Yeah.
are you worried about your home?
I don't know if it's about my home, but
Well, I know it's about family, but I don't know, everybody just keeps talking about Hanazuka and Celestia too, and I don't know. It's just making me more worried now, I guess.
yeah. I mean, Celestia, they're more stuck up and isolated themselves, it sounds like, but Hanazuka sounds like it's got something going on.
Yeah. I mean, ever since June. Well, ever since that time, I feel it just kind of seems, the kingdom just kind of shut itself down. And the king's not a good person, like I've said. So I just hope that he's not hurting people, but I'm also afraid to go there, so... Oh.
Yeah. Well, kind of on the way after if we go to Radashan to get the other stone. It's on the way north.
Yeah. Will you still come and help? If we decide to do that?
So what, go to Hanazuka?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I'll come.
Okay.
Why? Why don't you think I'd come?
Well, no, I just mean like, I just want to ask everybody, I think, if they want to. Because we could just avoid it all entirely. Ignore it. We probably shouldn't, but it's just one of those, like, I kind of want to do it, but not.
If you think it's important, we can stop there.
Yeah.
If you think it can wait until after the stones, we can go there after.
Yeah. I think it can probably wait. Unless, something explodes or something. Maybe not then, but... Cool. Did you know that you glow when you sleep?
It's
an ASMR thing.
There's a lot of kind of faint glowing that can happen.
Nice. Is Sasha okay? I was also going to ask that. Like, is she okay up there being isolated? Do you hear from her?
I haven't heard anything bad happening.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay.
I checked in with her last night, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have an inn if we get up there.
Yep.
Cool. Alright, have fun. Good night.
Good night.
Perfect. Zachary. Perception check.
Guys hit the best person at perception by themselves.
That can wake me up if he wants. My finger thing broke! Sorry.
No!
Whoa, okay.
You just found it. No.
Sorry, keep
What's your
If anybody in chat wants to send a finger massager to 400 art.
I got a 15 on my perception.
That's not bad.
It's not bad for Zach.
Nice.
Terrible for an axe.
Zachary, you do hear foot.
Can I see who it is?
You have dark vision.
I do. I'd probably be stationed on the roof because I wanted to watch for the sunrise anyways, so.
With a 15, it takes a little bit. You can hear them come from the woods. And...
It's a singular set of footsteps. Okay.
Getting closer to look. They might walk in an angle where you might not see their face if you're sitting on the roof. You'd have to kind of go
I'd
to that
probably
side.
sneak over to the edge of the roof so I can see a little better.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
Better at that. 20.
Nice. Person does not seem you, but someone we saw earlier today is Ahu's other sister, Guana, carrying a basket of food ration. Say anything, she's just down near the entrance. Walks away.
Yeah, I'll let her just do that and walk away.
Where we'll end tonight's session. At the end of your long rest, everyone gets a long rest. Who is the first one that checks on me up? Oh,
I guess it depends on who wakes up first, yeah.
I mean, am I able to monitor them in the morning as
yeah.
well?
I mean, yeah. I figured you guys were monitoring them over. So yeah, Kahu and Zachary.
I
On it.
rolled a 22 for my medicine check.
Okay, Zachary, give me a medicine check.
That is a 9.
Luckily, they're both okay. Still sleeping, and on the edge of extreme exhaustion. They're only at 5 levels of exhaustion. Seem to be recovering quite a bit.
I want to do a prayer before they get up to. If you're cool with ending on that note instead of this.
Yeah, we can do that.
But like as the sun is kind of in there, like still sleeping, I wanted to kind of look to the sunrise and kind of look down at the two that are alive, but just kind of look back and see all the bodies of everyone else that died, and just try to pray to Solus and say, and what good is our heroics if we're killing the victims? Is there any way for us to save these people without having them be too late? Is there any way we can help them? Anything you can do?
Give me an affinity
Because it
check.
took everything to save these two. Affinity check?
Affinity check with advantage.
Alright. What's that? That would be a 18.
18. Kind of watch the sunrise up over the horizon. And your desperate plea. You know your voice. You do feel warmth. You see a ray of sun coming up from the northwest. And it kind of shines in your eye. Feel drawn towards that direction. As if the answer to that prayer. Go there.
Is that a direction I know of something that's that way?
Sort of towards the coast. The
based
Which
on
coast?
so kind of from what they were gathering and talking about a place somewhere along the coast, the
Okay,
eastern
so
side,
their base it's pointing to.
essentially.
That direction is the direction it's pointing.
That would be the similar area, yes.
Okay. All right. Trust there's something, because I'm pretty sick of these people dying like this when they shouldn't have to.
And that's going tonight's session. Thank you guys.
Little heart.
I know, Zach's doing so good tonight. So proud of you guys. Very good RP. Very good fight as well. And thank you guys so much for all the big support coming back out from GaryCon. We filled our hearts getting to meet friends and being able to sit around the table and play D&D together has been absolutely amazing. And honestly, at least in my case, you guys have made that possible. I would not have been able to go out with all of you. So thank you so much for everything. I plan on bringing more and more content to you guys as well. We'll see what other streaming will be happening this week for me. It's got some family time to do, so that's going to take some of my attention. But we'll still be back here next Thursday, next Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to stream Feywild and Fates United. And don't forget to catch Marquee Gaming this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Beacon's Aura to continue. It's going to be so exciting. So, as always, let's go ahead and find someone to raid. Let me turn on the English tag because there's a lot of non-English ones.
One
yes?
of the guys that raided me, or that raided with, his name's like J&3 Storyteller. He was pretty cool. He's streaming. Right
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
cool.
cool. He's in mine a lot.
prepping.
I thought I
He's
saw
prepping
I guess.
D&D.
How many viewers does he have right now? Since he's...
Is 2. Here, I was about to put it in chat if you want.
Yeah, can you put it in chat and then?
Yeah. There you
Yeah, I
go.
really like him.
Yeah.
Go raid them. So as always, we'll go ahead and raid a fellow TTRPG person. No, that's not copying pasting. Let's try to make this happen. As my OBS has made it a lot harder for me to raid people now. That's fun. Perfect. There we go. So as always, we're gonna go ahead and send this over to JN3 Storyteller, and you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for showing your love to me. As always, let's show our love and respect. Send the Bardic Barrage to those that we love. I love all of you. We will see you in the Discord if you want to join in for the community when we're offline. Otherwise, have a wonderful night. Be positive. Wonderful weekend. See you next week. Bye.